Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dan Shepard, and I'm joined by Monica Lily Padman.
Hi.
And in the shadows, Wobby Wob. Today is our second guest we had in Nashville, but he was actually our first guest in Nashville. So delighted he said yes and came and was a guinea pig of sorts.
Yeah, he was.
Jason Aldean. Jason Aldean is a Grammy-nominated and multi-platinum entertainer. Albums include Highway Desperado, My Kind of Party, Night Train, Wide Open, Relentless. And he's on tour now, the full Throttle tour. And if anyone wants to go see him play, everyone agrees he's so radical in concert. Go to www.jasonaldean.com and go check out the full Throttle tour. Please enjoy Jason Aldean.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
You're from Macon,
Georgia, yeah.
and Monty's from Duluth.
Oh, yeah,
we were talking about it.
We
Oh,
did the
you already
whole
covered that.
thing, yeah.
And you know he's a huge Bulldogs fan.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
were saying his sister went there.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a religion down in Georgia, college football.
It really is.
My fast pass to piss Monica off. If ever I want to wake her up, I just say roll tide. Now, I have no allegiance to that
My
school.
wife graduated from Alabama,
Oh,
so
she-
yeah.
Oh, boy.
How's
This
that
is
really,
go?
really unfortunate.
a
but-
house divided.
Yeah.
Oh, my
It's,
God.
And does she watch all the games? Like, how into it is she?
No, I feel like she kind of like duped me a little bit. Because when we first met, she's like, "Oh, I love college football, love watching the games, love all this." And I'm like, "Oh, it's perfect. I found the perfect girl."
Yeah.
And then a couple seasons in, she's like, "Just tell me if they won or lost." Like, she doesn't really
Yeah.
watch the game, you know?
Yeah.
So
It's more about going to the games.
it's more about dressing
And-
up in your
oh,
gear,
yeah.
for her, at least. And,
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that in the South. You like dress up for games. You wear dresses, you wear heels.
Oh,
It's
like formal.
not like a long dress. Normally it's like a cute, like boutique dress.
Kinda like preppy, very preppy
Preppy.
at the SEC
yes.
schools.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a whole thing. It's so fun.
Now, let me ask you this, Monty. When you were doing your tailgate parties before these games,
Yes.
were you, when it was time to go into the game, we were like, oh, fuck, we got to go into the game?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That fun
Because especially
is the
back then, they
tailgate.
didn't sell any alcohol inside. So you're like,
Exactly.
you have to go inside. You're done drinking. You're like, well, tailgate
Yeah.
party's over. Cowboy boots are always a good thing for that. Cowboy boots, then you shove it down in the boot.
Shove it right down. And even if they pat you down, probably they're not picking up a pint in
Yeah,
a
I'm
cowboy
not
boot.
patting you down on your ankles, really. You know.
Okay, I wonder how you'll feel about this. So we went to a Texas game last year with Matthew McConaughey. We were his guests. It was very nice that he invited us.
You must have met him, right?
I've met him over the years briefly, kind of backstage at like award shows, those kind of things.
Yeah.
But I haven't really spent a ton of time with him. But he's like Mr. Texas, now
He's
Mr.
Mr.
College Football.
He's like, I compare, if you're in Austin with Matthew McConaughey, it's like being at Disneyland with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
is
It
the
really
Mickey Mouse
is.
of
his
Austin.
jacket and that hat are going to go in the College Football Hall of Fame at some point. I'm
It
pretty sure.
really
It's like a
is.
staple now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went as his guests, but they were playing Georgia. And I,
I don't think that ended too well for Texas.
it
right?
sure did
Yeah.
not.
But remember, we are guests of his in his box.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do I do? I can't, I have to root for Georgia. I'm not going to go.
Of course.
Yeah, right? So I wore a Bulldog shirt and a red sweater. I didn't go all out, but I did. Everyone was.
Just enough to be annoying to him.
Exactly.
Just a
Thank
thorn
God-
in the side.
Thank
Yeah.
God he wasn't there. He was on the field. So we
He was
didn't
coaching the game.
Exactly. We didn't have to make contact. But this was a little bit of a point of contention because, you know, I'm there. Dax is really trying to fit in. And
Well, Austin's my spiritual headquarters.
It's a cool town,
It's
man.
the
It's a really
coolest.
cool town.
but still my allegiance.
Well, yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't flip flop.
Yeah, but I obviously, A, we were his guest. B, I love Austin, and I wish I had gone. So, yeah, I was rooting for the Longhorns, and it almost ended
Yeah,
our
this was a big
friendship.
friendship issue.
College football has a way of doing that sometimes. It's
It
almost
does.
ended my marriage a couple times.
Kind of ironic, though, you married a gal that went to Alabama, and your favorite band's Alabama.
Yeah, I grew up a huge Alabama fan. It was kind of like my first memories of music, really. I mean,
Yeah.
my dad and, having a record collection and sitting down and playing those, like the big vinyls,
Yeah.
and I just learned where the little marks were where you put the needle, and I, had a big set of headphones with a 1/4-inch cable, and I would sit there and play those records over and over and over. And I don't know. Alabama was just the band for me that I always just kind of gravitated towards. It was like country, but still cool. It had like some rock and roll, southern rock.
It's
in
kind of
it.
southern rocky.
Yeah,
Jason.
and they were a club band that started in the bars and kind of made it into Nashville, got a deal, became the biggest band in country music, one of the biggest bands around in the early 80s. And so, they were just always kind of my Beatles, I guess.
Yeah. What did Dad do in Macon?
Well, my dad was in the Air Force.
Okay.
My parents met like when they were in high school. Dad joined the Air Force right after that, and my mom got married. He got stationed in Germany. And then they came back, and he was living they were living in Valdosta, which is a little south of Macon. He was stationed at Moody Air Force Base. I was born. Then we moved to Homestead Air Force Base, which is south of Miami, down between Miami and the Keys. He was a weapons mechanic on like fighter planes and those kind of things growing up. So as a kid, I was running around the Air Force Base, climbing in planes and all that kind of stuff, which was cool. But then they got divorced when I was 3, and my mom kind of moved back to Macon, where her family was from, and my dad stayed in Florida pretty much, until I was 18 or 19, and then moved back to Georgia, and now lives about 10 minutes from me here. So,
oh wow,
yeah.
So my mom and dad also got divorced at 3. I'm 2 years older than you, so I think we got all the same references.
50? Have you hit 50 yet?
I hit 50 in January.
Well, hey,
yeah.
Happy 50, man. That's a big.
That's
a big deal.
It is
something I never thought I'd see. You probably too, right?
But it didn't look good for many years.
You had that thought, like, oh, that's like.
Oh, I mean, I was in the early day, when you're young, and especially you get, in this business, you're 28, and all of a sudden it's like, got some hits and go on the road, and you're living the dream.
You've been preparing for this.
Oh, and I don't really know that you can prepare for it. I think in your mind you think you know what it's like, and then once it starts, you're like, it's not really like that at all. It becomes every day, what I mean? You're on the road playing 200 shows a year, and so you're on the road 250 days a year, and things get a little off the rails sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah, Monday never comes when you're touring, in a way, right?
Yeah.
No, it's like you got the weekend, people are out. Everybody comes to the shows to have fun and hang out. And then you get home and all your friends at home haven't seen you. And they're like, let's go watch Monday Night Football. So you're at it again,
Yeah.
It's a thing. It took me a while to adjust to it.
Dad was in the Air Force, but he played guitar himself, yeah?
He did. He played very little. I mean, he kind of knew the basics, right? He knew like the major chords. And I would just be at his house. My sister's 7 years younger than me. So... we didn't really have a lot in common at that time. Yeah. And so he would just I started kind of wanting to play guitar, and he just basically drew it out on notebook paper. It was like, here's the frets, here's where your fingers go. That's a G chord, that's a C chord, whatever.
Yeah.
And so he would go to work, and I'd just grab his old Fender guitar and sit in there and, mess around. And he had a little band that would come sit at it was kind of like a living room garage band. I think there was like 3 of them, 4 of them maybe. And they would, come play like old Merle Haggard stuff. And after a while, I started playing with them and singing all the songs, and that was kind of how it started. You start, it's kind of like music theory, I guess. It's like you start figuring out, oh, these chords go with those chords, and those don't go with those, and you know what I mean? And then you start figuring out how to put songs together, and you find a song like Turn the Page. I mean, it's an E minor, so you're like, well, I know that D goes with E minor, and what the chords that go with that. And you go, oh, well, once you know where it starts, you can kind of figure it out from there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I learned to play guitar. Even now, if we're, learning a new song or something, and I'm like, what key is that in? They're like, B flat. I'm like, what the hell is a B flat? And then my guitar player will be, it's this one. I'm like, oh, okay, I know that chord. I play it all the time. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how I learned to play, even like piano and stuff. It's if there's a song I need to learn, I just go, and I don't know what it's in. I just put the piano in middle, like a keyboard in middle C, and I just figure it out.
Yeah.
And, I don't know how to play. I couldn't go in a piano bar and sit there and play, but if you give me a day or two, I'll figure it out, And so it was like that with guitar too.
I do want to see you in a dueling piano bar now, though.
Yeah.
It turned into an a cappella bar, trust me.
Were you always self-motivated like that across the board, or was it kind of just solely music?
Well, before that, I mean, sports was kind of always my thing before, baseball especially. I remember from the time I can remember, baseball being a huge thing. Played every year, a lot of times on 2 or 3 different teams. I played school ball, rec ball, and then, you'd have like all-star teams that would kind of become a travel team or like American Legion team once I got to high school.
What position?
I played first base in high school, but I was not going to play first base in college because I hit leadoff and switch hitter with 0 power. So I was going to have to make the switch when I was going to go to college and play. They wanted me to play either short, second, or center field. So I was going to have to make that move. And I'd already done that in like summer leagues. I knew that I wasn't going to go to college as a first baseman and be a big power hitter. So I'd already started making the move to short and second. But yeah, I just always thought that's what I was going to do in some capacity. And then music was kind of a hobby a little bit. And then in high school, I started playing in bars at 14 or 15 years old. And so it just kind of...
Yeah, I definitely want to get into that because when we interviewed Shania Twain, she too was in bars from very, very young age in northern Canada, which if you think it can get hicky in the South, if you go up to northern Canada, they can rival.
I was just in Saskatchewan. So.
Yeah. This shit was going down in the 80s in those bars for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm curious really quick, when mom and dad split, my version of it is like, I had lots of friends whose parents got divorced at like 8 or 10 or 12, and they like pined for them to get back together. I was 3. So I didn't really have that fantasy of same, right? Yeah. But do you end up with any stepdads?
Yeah, I had some.
Yeah. How were they? Mine were not great.
Some not so good, some were great, Yeah. I think that was the thing where, my mom probably a lot of times was trying to find make things better for us. I think there's probably some times where she probably...
I think especially a single mom when they have boys. My mom had 2 boys. She's like, I'm supposed to get a man in the mix, I think.
Or just marry, just for the wrong reasons. Not because they're like in love with somebody, but because it's like, you're struggling as a single parent and you think that's going to fix the issue. And some, just doesn't. And
you need needs met.
Yeah. And so, I think, I have stepdad now who's great, David. They've been together for, I don't know, 15 years or something. And then my dad got remarried to my stepmom, Vivi. They've been married for 40 years. So right after, so, but yeah, I was like you, man. I mean, they got divorced at 3 and I just them ever getting back together was never.
I didn't have any memories.
I don't remember them being together at all anyway. I mean, I would be with my mom in Georgia and then every year I'd go to Florida and spend my summers at the beach with my dad.
On the Keys?
Yeah. Or like ended up moving to Titusville, Florida, which is right there around Cape Canaveral where they launched the shuttles and stuff. And so the beach was a 10-minute drive.
Back to the stepdads, because I know there's something there.
I think one of mine was like, a Vietnam vet who like, in the
80s
had some issues with that. And it's like,
addiction stuff?
Not really, just more just he was a dickhead. You know what I mean? Like, and just like, I'm a 7th grade or something and wants to like bow up to me. And I'm like, the guy's like this much taller than me. So
in a man who's been to war.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're a badass.
Right.
So, but there was some of that stuff.
And then what would happen at school?
I just always, to me, it's just, I always knew like this guy's, anybody that did that or like any man that's like bowing up to a kid, like you're a fucking idiot. First off,
you're not a man.
And so when I, getting to school, I never that stuff never carried over to me. I got to school, I, got along with everybody pretty well. I was cool to everybody, played sport. Obviously, sports was my big thing. That always, because I changed schools a bunch too, man. I mean, I never went to the same school for more than 2 years in a row until I was probably in 8th, 9th grade, maybe.
Yeah.
And sports was kind of my end to where, baseball or whatever started. And even if I didn't know everybody or PE class or something, and it's like they figure out you could play sports and all of a sudden you kind of get in with the guys and, it's cool. And that was kind of how it always was for me. So I didn't get into a lot of stuff at school or like,
you got along with
I was kind of sneaky. Like I wanted to do stuff and not get in trouble, not get caught.
Yeah.
I got really good at that.
I moved a ton as well. I got to start over a bunch and I got to try on like, I showed up at one junior high. I was full blown punk rock, Mohawk, let's go. I skateboard, I got to like try on these identities pretty quickly because I was moving. And I do think it weirdly helped me go to California, get into comedy. Like I think starting so many times at these schools helped me buy into a persona that I would be selling right away. And I just wonder if you think musically that maybe that all helped.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, when you're constantly having to meet new people like that and bouncing around, and you know, it's like you can never get comfortable. You never have, like, my kids have friends they went to kindergarten with, right? Like, and you know, they've been friends since they were little kids. I'm just like, man, I didn't really have that. We were bouncing around so much that you just kind of learn to be a little bit of a chameleon and figure it out as you go. And like you said, I mean, I think I went to school one time dressed like Zach Morris, you know?
Oh, sure. From Saved by the
Coming
Bell.
back from Florida, got blonde in my hair, and looked like a total idiot, you know? It's like, couldn't be further from me.
Couldn't be further from you now, but if you had grown up like that, maybe that would have been you.
Well, I just think when you're younger, like you were saying, I mean, you're just trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure out, like, who you are.
What's
and,
going to get the most amount of girls?
yeah, like
and
what the
friends.
chicks think are going to be cool. And, you know? So, but yeah, there's a lot of that. And I think it probably bouncing around so much helped me in the music business, and just, you know, talking to people and just meeting people and being comfortable in an uncomfortable situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that it taught me a lot about how to deal with those things.
We've interviewed a bunch of musicians, and I do find that musicians tend to have this kind of weird split personality. Like, I guess they'd be ambiverts, which is you have some extrovert in you because you want to be on stage and you're up for that. But learning music and getting good at music is such a solitary, isolated, introverts kind of pursuit.
I mean, I did that. I mean, I had, you know, my tape deck. I would get my guitar. Eventually, my dad bought me a guitar of my own. And I would sit in the room with my tape deck, and if stuff I wanted to play, I would play it and stop it and back it up.
Did you have a 4-track?
No, I just had like a dual cassette deck, and I would sit there and do. My buddy that was in my band, he had a 4-track, and that's what we would go record.
In high school, that was like the fucking chalice.
Was Pro Tools that back then.
Yeah.
But you know, I would get back then. You could buy like the music books, and they would have like the chords, you know, mapped out, and so I would just sit there and figure it out and play. But you're right, you sit in your room a lot. You know, trying to get decent at it before you ever join a band and you like interact with other players or do whatever. And, you know, I think there's a lot of that for me. I go on stage and, you know, do the show. And then as soon as I come off stage, it's like you hit the light switch, and then I'm kind of like.
I don't think there's a more stark transition on planet Earth than going from a stage to a hotel room in a foreign city.
I think that's, you know, I've had friends before that are just like never seen a show like in the early days, and guys that I've been friends with, and they finally come out and they're like, what just happened? Like, that is not you off stage. And then you get on stage. And for me, it's just like, you know, I'm there to put on a show, and I love that 2 hours that like you were saying, you get to try on a different personality. I get to kind of put on my suit and tie and go to work, and you get to be this rock star for a couple hours, and then as soon as I come off stage, I turn the switch off and I go back to being, you know, dad. I got my kids running around backstage, and, you know.
But how do you transition into the hotel room?
I don't. I stay on the bus.
You stay on the bus?
I stay on the bus probably 99% of the time. So,
okay. And that helps the lonely? That was crazy?
Well, it's just my other house, you know? I mean, everything on the bus is, you know, it feels like a home. So my kids are out there. My wife's out there.
Well, you're 5 feet from mine. You don't have to tell me about a bus.
With the Wayland logo on the back. It's awesome.
I'm so glad you saw that.
I did.
I had that put
on
there.
Is that actually Wayland's, or did you put that on there?
I put that on there.
That was so cool.
But occasionally I'm driving down the interstate and someone like will speed up, and I think they think they're going to see Shooter or somebody. I think they do think that somehow the ghost of Wayland's going to be driving the bus.
I don't know. It's funny you see that on a bus, man. Willie Nelson, I played a show for not too long ago, had one of Willie Nelson's old buses.
Oh, really?
And they had it at their house. Like, it was like a lake house. They had it sitting out there, and it was basically like an Airbnb. Like, they used it for, like, you could come rent it out and, like, sleep there. It's like one of their properties on the lake.
Does it reek in there like weed still?
I don't know. I told the guy, I said, I think I was in this bus back in like 97 when I still lived in Georgia, opening for Willie. And I don't know how the hell they got the smell. I haven't been able to smell in 10 years, so I don't know. But
did you have an incident, or just
no? Just like
died?
Nasal polyps. I'm supposed to be having surgery on this, but you know, hasn't happened yet. So,
are you afraid that'll affect your voice?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna probably sound different, and it's also just time. And I just don't want to. They're like, yeah, it's going to feel like you got like the worst flu for like 2
Ooh.
weeks. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like something I want to
No.
jump on. It just doesn't sound like fun. So I haven't had it done yet.
Maybe you go CPAP during the recoveries. CPAP machine.
Yeah, that thing seems annoying too.
Yeah.
I need one that just goes right here. You know, I don't know. The strap, it wakes up. I actually tried it and woke up and it's like, you know, sitting on my eye.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
My childhood best friend's on.
A CPAP.
I
Yeah.
constantly see him in different states of it all wrapped
Oh,
around.
my
He
gosh.
looks like a fire pilot though as he goes to sleep. I always
Sexy.
wish him luck on his mission.
I have a question. So since you do go on stage and you kind of like put on a person, you know, you become a different version of yourself. Do you feel like when you're out in the world, if you're at a restaurant or something and people come up to you or they're excited to see you, you have to code switch into that? Like, do you feel the pressure to be something for people?
Yeah, how big is the gap between Jason the man and Jason the performer?
I think it depends on the situation. I think there's times where I know what I'm getting into, you know, when I go somewhere and you know that you're going to deal with it, you know, whatever. Then there's also times where I feel like sometimes it gets a little inappropriate. Like if I'm at dinner with my family and, you know, it's like, man, at least wait till I'm done. Like, you know what I mean?
Totally.
So, but it's hard because you don't want to seem like an ungrateful asshole, you know, and because it's not that. I'm very thankful for everything. It's just like at some point as an entertainer, what you do, whatever, it's like you got to be able to shut that off and give your family like your undivided attention because they don't really get it
Otherwise,
a lot.
yeah.
You know? So that's kind of the thing for me where it's situational for me. And if I know that I'm getting into it and, you know, I can kind of prepare for it a little bit.
I could see it being harder as a country star, though, because I feel like people do expect a type of like
I think it's similar to a comedian.
Yeah, probably.
Like I think when people see Leonardo DiCaprio at a restaurant, they're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
If they see Will Ferrell, they're like, "Fuck, my bro's here. I'm gonna go tell him how much fun I had."
It's all in what they, you know, what they associate you with. I think, and they associate singers with being on stage and, or you know, your Instagram, put your highlight reels of your life. You know,
and a party. It's kind of party music.
Yeah,
it's like good time. It's what you put on to have a good time.
Those are the kind of things for me. I think that it took me a minute to.
For them, though, that's the moment. That's a moment they're going to remember forever.
Right.
So they're like, I got to take it.
And that's the struggle. That's where I'm like, I understand that part of it too.
I'm also a fan. Like I remember moving to LA and you moved to Nashville when you were a kid. Like I remember being so excited. I saw Nicolas Cage at a gas station filling up his Porsche. I could have stayed there all day watching him fucking fill up that gas.
I've never seen a guy fill up a car like that.
How many gallons is that tank? Okay, so at 14, Mom figures out how to get you a gig at the VFW Hall.
Yes.
And so that's your first performance. And does it immediately feel right? Are you terrified? Or do you go like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm going to do?
Well, I think at the time, my mom and my aunt used to go play bingo together. That was like if they, you know, if one of them hit it at bingo, they got a little extra cash. It was a big deal. So they knew there was a little lounge there that had a band. And so they talked to them and about me coming in and singing. So I went up and did a couple songs. I think I did Silver Wings by Merle Haggard and, you know, a Tracy Lawrence or John Anderson song or something. And I just remember at the time going, man, I was just trying to play guitar and sing at the same time. Like, remember the words, remember the chords, you know, remember where the solos were, like those kind of things.
Were you a better singer or guitar player at that point?
Probably neither.
Equally bad at both.
And, you know, it was just kind of one of those things that I did that off and on. I remember, you know, singing a little bit with like karaoke tapes and would do that. And then I started getting this house gig. I was winning these talent contests at our local bar in Macon. And so one of the clubs just said, hey, you know, you want to come be a featured artist, play with our house band on the weekends and play, you know, 4 or 5 songs a set. And so at 14, 15 years old, I started doing that.
Did your mom have any fear about you going and spending 4 hours on the weekends in a bar?
Not really, because they had to be with me in the beginning.
Okay.
So that was the other thing. My mom would, you know, she would go to work. You know, I'd go to school, and then after school, I'd have baseball practice. I'd get home, she'd cook dinner, go to the bar, and she'd sit there at the bar with me until 1 o'clock in the morning and then come home. And, you know, we'd do that 2 or 3 nights a week.
What kind of bar was it? I guess let's start there.
It was called Nashville South. It was a country bar.
How often were you seeing fights?
I mean, you're usually good for a couple of weekends.
There you go. This is what I'm imagining. A couple of weekend
for sure.
There's stuff happening with women you're seeing that's kind of new.
All of it. Yeah, all of it.
And are you loving it? Or are you feeling overwhelmed like, oh, this is intense?
I think at the time, when I first started seeing it, it was like, man, this is awesome. And,
Yeah.
and then as it gets, it kind of just becomes second nature after a while. You start seeing it and you're like, all right, you guys move. We're trying to fit, it's not really
Yeah.
You get desensitized
Yeah.
and you know how to navigate it.
yeah, you don't even break stride after a while.
Well,
I think for
Yeah.
Shania, when she was talking about it, as I recall, what was interesting is like she's a young girl and she's seeing adults enter in one state of mind, and this is Northern Canada.
Yeah.
And then a few hours later, everyone's acting completely different,
Right.
and they're acting pretty different to her.
Right.
So I imagine it's probably less scary when you're a dude in that situation. But also, I went to work at 15 at this place, a race team in Detroit. And these guys were making jokes about butt fucking me and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this is way too much for me at 50. I just like dropped into a 30-year-old mechanic
what?
lifestyle. Yeah.
The hell
I was like,
what the hell have I gotten into here?
Yeah, I think it can distort your version of normal. Like when
Yeah.
you're young and that's what's happening, like, I guess this is normal.
This is what happens in a bar is kind of
Yeah.
the way I took it.
By the way, did that make you cool at high school at all? That
Not
people
really.
knew? It didn't?
It was almost like, oh yeah, Jason's going to be a country singer. It was
Yeah.
almost kind of
Ah.
like maybe
Making
even a
fun of
little
you.
nerdy,
Yeah, yeah.
A little soft.
Again, that's where the sports kind of like,
Mitigated that.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I would just sit outside of my guitar on the tailgate of my truck playing. All my friends would come by like honking and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
This guy
kind of
thinks he's going to be Garth
Yeah,
Brooks.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Joke's on you, motherfuckers.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, right.
But I did that, and then I met these guys. They fired the whole house band at this bar I was playing, and they brought in another band, and it was a bunch of young guys that were my age. Most of them were a year younger than me,
Oh, wow.
and I was probably 18 or 19 at the time. So I met these guys, and it was the first time I'd been around like other musicians that were my age, and
Right.
so we started playing, and and that's kind of where I started really figuring it out, and like, getting to be a better guitar player, learning to play with the band, and being the front man of a band that was playing,
yeah.
our sets instead of
Yeah.
going up playing
All
4 or 5
covers?
songs. Oh yeah, for the most part. I mean, Justin Weaver, a guy that was in the band who lives here in Nashville now, who I've been friends with forever. He and I would write a few things,
Yeah.
but for the most part, it was,
That's what people want to hear.
yeah,
at
you're
those
playing
bars.
the top 40 country songs at the bar. They want to hear, Achy Breaky Heart or whatever the
Well, they
hell.
got
was-
to.
Yeah. So they're waiting all night to hear those things. So but that's kind of how you get, start figuring out what you do. And so that was where I started really having fun. We started traveling with that band, and we were all the same age.
Well, and now you're having the community that like you would have on a sports team with peers.
Right.
When you're with these older dudes, I'm sure they're being nice to you, but it's not
being
like
nice,
you-
but you're not part of the band. And this
Yeah.
was like my first band where I felt like, it was my crew, and, and we went out, and my dad managed us at the time.
Oh,
He would go
wow.
out and make sure we got paid because club owners love to rip you off. And,
yeah.
so it was a cool deal. And I got to spend a lot of time with my dad when I graduated because he had lived in Florida. Like I said before, he lived in Florida, had just moved to Georgia when I graduated. And so now I got to go on the road, spend a bunch of time with him.
You have a great relationship with him, it
I
sounds
do.
like.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's lucky.
It's I think like a lot of things, it's probably been a little up and down over the years,
Yeah,
different times. But he's great, and super great granddad to my kids. They
Yeah.
probably love being at his house more than they love being at our house, honestly. So,
Yeah.
but no, I have a great relationship with both parents.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Okay, so then you moved to Nashville at 21.
Mhm.
You get signed and dropped quickly, a couple times.
Couple times, yeah.
And then you end up with Broken Bow Records in 2000.
2003, I think, is when they signed me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this is
2003.
where you and I have almost an identical journey. So I moved to LA, and I'm in LA trying for 8 years. and at some point going like, when do we quit? And then pretty much start working at 28 after 8 years, which is when you really.
That's when it hit for me. Yeah.
So for me in that 8 years, it was I had a blast. So it's not like I did. My life was great. I had a good time. I was broke. I was drunk.
But you don't know any different. That's the
I didn't
thing.
know any different. But what was really hard on me was my friends and peers were working. And the people I performed with at the Groundlings, this comedy theater, like they're all in commercials and they have apartments. Like just watching people around me for 8 years succeed or have agents or this and that was fucking brutal. And definitely supercharged. I would already been an addict, but definitely supercharged that because I was just scared. And you had a long run. You're kind of like a boy wonder to be working at a bar at 15 and then have your own band at 18. And then to do 8 years, what were those 8 years like?
So that was the thing. When I moved to Nashville, I had, in my mind, I felt like, man, I'd kind of been building this thing down in Georgia and Florida. We were selling out bars, big bars down in Georgia and Florida and making a name for ourselves. And then all of a sudden, I get the call to the big leagues to come up here and write songs for Warner Brothers. And so that's kind of how I got my foot in the door. And so I think I'm going to show up and we're just going to pick up where we left off. And it was just like nothing, not even close.
It's humbling.
It's very humbling. And I realized that the live part of everything was what I had been working on that I had down. But what I didn't have was being in the studio and learning how to capture that on tape and, being a better singer in the studio. And really, when you're in the studio, you start hearing all your flaws and all the things that you don't really hear when live. And so it just kind of became, all right, well, we started working on that part of it a lot. But yeah, I just think it was getting better at that stuff. And that 7 years of being in town going, oh, we want to sign you. And then I was signed to Capitol Records for a year. And they kept going, oh, we're going to let you go in and cut 4 sides. And then a couple weeks out, they go, I don't think we got the songs. And they would cancel it. And so I did that for like a year and a half.
And when you're in that situation and you're new, are they telling you what songs they want you to sing? Or are they saying, hey, here's some great writers we know, meet with them? How does that work?
They're bringing in songs. You're trying to find songs. And then you collectively kind of sit down and go, man, we think this is the best, Yeah. And that was always a big thing for me is that, I just didn't want people picking songs for me. I feel like that happened a little bit early on in my career. Yeah. And when it did happen, it didn't go well. Yeah. Like, those were the things that didn't do as well. And I don't know, man, that's where I'm a stubborn dude, like, especially when it comes to that. If I want to fail, I don't want to put the blame on anybody else. I
fail
want it to
with
be
your idea.
Yes, yeah. I can at least accept that. Yeah. And, so at this point, even making records and stuff now, we go make the album and when we're done, it's like, here's your record and here's the singles and
you're welcome.
Yeah. So I just don't, that constant chirping in your ear of, I like this song and well, this is my favorite song. And, everybody's got an opinion. I'm like, I just don't want to hear all that noise. I just want to go make my record and go, this is what I think is cool. And that's kind of how we are now. But, obviously took a while to get there too.
This is such a basic question, but I don't really understand. When you sit down with someone who's written a song, right? They're a songwriter and you meet with them and they play you a demo of them maybe doing it. Is that how it works?
Yeah. They'll do a demo. They'll get a singer or maybe they sing it or whatever.
Great. So now when you hear that and let's say you respond to it, right? You're like, oh, there's something there, whether it's this hook I like, or it's this piece of it. How do you put your fingerprint on it? And then are you looking for a way that's like, okay, great. So that's a great suggestion. Now, how do I make it mine?
I think that's kind of the easy part. Like
that's the easy part
to me. To me, it's finding the song. If the song is, says something the way that I would say it, melody, it's, melodically, it's something that I think is cool that I would say. It's not, a lot of the tongue in cheek kind of lyrics, I stay away from that.
Yeah.
But if it's something I feel like, man, that's my kind of song. It's as simple as just going in the studio with my band. My band cuts everything in the studio, so we go in and, we've done it enough now to kind of just have the system down. And so we find the key that it's in, and I let them do their thing, and we'll kind of dial it in a little bit. But for whatever reason, you get all of us in a room, and you start recording, and it just comes out the way it does. There's not a magic button that happens. It's just that's the way everybody plays. It's the way I sing, and that's the way we hear it coming out.
That's the recipe.
Yeah.
And your producer, who you've done all these with, Mark, what's his
Michael
name?
Knox.
Michael Knox. When does he come in the picture, and how does he help create that magic that you get in there and it always comes out this way?
Yeah. So I was playing. We're talking about the young band that I had. That we were starting to kind of play everywhere, and there was a club in Atlanta called the Buckboard. It was up in Cobb, like off of Cobb Parkway, Cobb County, somewhere up there. And right next to a strip club. It was awesome. Boomers, and then you had,
one-stop shop
yeah,
for everything.
Stumble out of the bar and go to a strip club.
What a night.
So, but they had a house band there. And sometimes that house band would have like bigger shows like around town, or so they play a festival or something that was going on. And so the guy, John Galatio, who owned it, would call and be like, hey, can you guys fill in for my band that's out? So it kind of started like that.
Yeah.
Well, then he would do like a showcase where he'd bring people in from Nashville and kind of showcase the best bands in the area to try and help them get a deal or whatever. And at the end of the day, he probably got a little kickback off of that. We were all paying him like $500 to get into this thing.
Yeah.
So Michael Knox was there, saw me playing a couple songs we had written that night. And that kind of started that journey. He flew down to see me play some shows in Florida and then brought me to Nashville, went in the studio, cut a couple songs.
Okay, now back to the stepdad thing. It's like a strange dude enters the picture. You show promise to him. But you guys got to start working together, and you have to be receptive, I imagine, to what he brings to the table, whatever his genius is. Is that hard for you or easy?
Well, I think it was just new to me. Like, it was kind of this thing of like, man, I don't know this guy, but he's interested in what I'm doing. And maybe this is an opportunity for me to see what, because in your business and my business, I mean, you just need a break. You need somebody to give you a shot.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
Yes.
And he, I'm like, maybe this is it. And so, I learned a lot from him. He's kind of like my mentor, my guy that taught me a ton about being in the studio and how to capture all that stuff. And, he's the guy that goes home and obsesses with all this stuff and, different parts, making sure levels are right and this guitar cuts through like it's supposed to. He's that guy.
Did he have an approach that you think worked particularly well with you?
He's like a big brother to me. Like he was, he's from Macon, Georgia. He's from my hometown and just happened to be like the vice president at Warner Chapel here. Yeah.
Wow.
His dad was Buddy Knox, who was a 50s singer with like Buddy Holly and those kind of guys. So he's just kind of been around it.
Back when 1 in 5 musicians was named Buddy.
Yes, clearly. And
you respected him, it sounds like.
Yeah, and he was like a big brother
piece.
that was in the business. He was a VP of a major company in town. And for whatever reason, this guy took me under his wing and just wanted to help me. And even when I would get record deals and lose them and those kind of things.
Yeah, how are you staying resilient in that period?
I think definitely losing confidence. I mean, I think it's you come into town with this, plenty of confidence.
Yeah, too much.
It's like, oh, they've been waiting on me to get here.
Big fish syndrome.
No, and it's like you get there and, you realize, man, there's a lot of people here that are a lot better singers than you and, have a lot more going on than you have. And like you were saying, you're watching your friends get deals and go on to have success. And, and you're just like, shit, maybe it's not going to happen for us, and maybe I'm going to end up working at Pepsi again. And, you don't know. And having somebody like him to just kind of be by your side and go, hey, we lost that record deal. Fuck those guys. We're going to go and get another one. Like it was just that mentality.
So he got you through a lot of that. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, he used to like give me gift cards to go eat, be able to go eat dinner at Applebee's or like Applebee's gift cards or whatever. Nice. And yeah, he was the one that, if not for him, I probably would have ended up back in Georgia and reevaluating my life. Probably.
Yeah, you might be in rehab right now.
Probably. Very likely, actually.
Okay. So 2005, Jason Aldean, your first album comes out, and Hicktown is first out, and then Why is your first #1 hit.
Yeah,
right out of the gates. Okay, so how do we adjust to 8 years of desert dwelling to like pretty radical success right out of the gates?
Again, man. I mean, I think we were so focused. Like I said, we were on the road. Once we finally got a chance to have a hit, so Hicktown came out. It was a top 10 hit for us on the charts for what seemed like a year.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden that thing hits, man. We're selling out clubs again. Here we're starting to do the stuff I was doing down in Georgia and Florida, but now we got a major hit, and songs on the radio and we had a damn blast. I mean, we, hit the ground running. And then I was always that person of like, man, that's great. We got a top 10 with Hicktown, but what's next? Like that's only going to be good for we can only tour off of that for about a year. Then what? You got to stack them. And then Why came out and it was a #1. Amarillo Sky was a top 5.
Great song.
And so we just kind of like all of a sudden we're stacking these songs
Do you have a hard time believing it?
that it's happening.
Yeah.
I was always like, this is too good to be true kind of
Yes.
thing. It's
Yeah.
like, this is so good. I don't want this to end. And I'm scared of that. I'm not even enjoying the success
Right.
for worrying
Yeah.
about it ending.
Exactly.
Yes,
And that
that's
was
hard.
probably something I still do, actually.
Yes.
Even this far into it. I remember having I think I had a 15,000 or 1,500 square foot house. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I think I bought
You've been
it
rich too
for like
long.
100.
You
yeah.
Forgot how many zeros goes at the end.
And this was like a house I had bought that I was hoping my record deal would do well, but I didn't have any money yet.
Yeah.
And so I got this house, and I just remember thinking, man, if I could just make enough money to pay off this house, it cost me about $105,000.
Yeah.
And this, like, all my problems will go away.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then
yes.
all of a sudden, like a couple years later, my accountant's like, man, you got to sell that house and get a bigger one for tax purposes. I'm like, what the hell? So, but then you start getting into that, and you're like, you just, for me, it was that. It was like, this is too good to be true, and I don't know when this is going to end, but like, surely this can't keep going on the way it is. And then you turn around and you're 20 years into it, and it's like, still waiting on something bad to happen.
Yeah. Well, when you have 8 years of getting your ass kicked, you get pretty used to that's how it is.
Oh, yeah.
And more than that, you also grew up in an environment where you were moving all the time. Nothing was
The shoe did
stable
drop
for
a
that
lot.
long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grown up.
There's a
you
lot of
know.
evidence for that.
It was just, I was never in a situation where like you were financially stable. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, and even though, it's not everything, it helps when you're on the road and you got, especially at that time, I had my oldest daughter was born, I was 25, so by the time I had a 3-year-old at home and wasn't making any money. So,
Yeah.
and I'm going, but this is working. I'm out here on the road
Yeah.
partying and playing shows,
Yeah.
not making any money. But hey, it's kind of hard to validate that to, everybody.
Well, now
back
here's
at
where
home.
booze and drugs works, which it did work for me. So I couldn't really enjoy it because I was so afraid it was going to go away. But when I was fucked up, I could.
Yeah, that's when you had the most fun.
Yes, because that's what Coke gave me is optimism.
I never went down that path. Mine
Well,
was,
good. You think
mine
your
was-
nose is
mine
fucked
was
up
more-
now.
Yeah. Maybe it'll clear it out. Mine was drinking though, man. We just, I probably drank enough to float a damn
It's
aircraft
fun.
carrier over the years.
It's a fun hobby.
But it is. It's a thing, man. You're out there and you start getting, in that lifestyle, and then it's like probably 4 doesn't really do it for you anymore. So you're just kind of up in the ante. And like I said, the drug side of it was never something I really got into. But drinking, that was still love to drink and have fun and do my thing. I just got a way better grip on it now than I once did.
Yeah. How about this? And another thing I've said on here a million times is I was really obsessed with the people I was obsessed with growing up was like Charles Bukowski, Waylon, basically all guys who their art was so significant that they were allowed to behave like fucking animals and everyone forgave it.
Yeah, but I think that's it. I think, whether people want to believe it or not, sometimes those things kind of create, genius comes out of it, putting your head space in a different, place. And so, there's a reason that rock stars or some of the best songs are ever written,
Are coming out of chaos.
Yeah,
and-
just
and-
coming out of like, place of like pain or despair or you trying to cover up something with
Wreckage.
drugs or alcohol or whatever it is. And
How many Waylon songs are about cheating? I mean, a third of them are about cheating,
Yeah.
one way or another.
it was probably coming from a place that was very legit, so.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you take to the road? It sounds like, but your life starting in 2005, I'm imagining you've just been touring almost without exception. How many shows have you played since 2005? Do you know?
Man,
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, the first few years are doing 200. And for us, we kind of backed it down to 150 and stayed there for a while, and then 125, then 175. Now we're kind of probably about 55 is kind of where we live right now, and it's great. I mean, it gives me time to hang out with my family for 5 or 6 months and spend some time with them, and then get on the road and go work for 5 or 6 months.
Is it the same with us? Like when they were little, is no problem. We just took them everywhere we were working. And then they get to an age where you really can't do that. And then you have to really figure out like, well, then do I really want to work?
Well, I think for us, it's school. It's
Right.
they're getting to age now where they're in school.
Because you have an 8-year-old boy?
We have a 6-year-old girl, 7-year-old boy. He'll be 8 in December.
Okay.
So-
So 6 and 7, and then older children,
22 and 17.
girls.
So, yes.
I would imagine you have to kind of learn how to tour so that it's tenable, that you can continue to do it. So like what things did you start figuring out along the way?
Well, the one thing, when you first started, or when I first started, it was, I think there was 10 of us on a bus. It was me, my band, my tour manager, my merch guy,
Yeah.
And we're on one bus, we're rolling out, and again, we're not making money, so I'm trying to save money, cramming us all on a bus. And it finally, got to a point where I started doing well, and I got my own bus.
Yeah.
And once we did that, I met my wife not long after that. And so when we started having our kids, it's like, 2 weeks after they were born, they were getting thrown on the bus, and,
Yeah.
and you just have their bins for their toys. And, what they go out to the shows now, they're old enough. We put a pass on them. They kind of walk around backstage, and everybody around there lets them feel like they're helping. They're working, giving out passes or whatever. So that's the thing too. I got a great crew out there that kind of helps watch them. And it's just, we've kind of dialed it in over the years. But like when we first got out there, it was me and all the guys, no family, no kids, any of that. We're playing shows, being gone for, a couple months at a time. And it's just the dynamics change now. But
Do you get depressed when you're at home?
it's usually groovy for me for about 2 months. And
2
then,
months, okay.
Yeah, like I'm good with taking a little time, because it also gives me, a chance to go and work in the studio a little bit, or do those kind of things, and not try to cram that in when you're on the road. So I like a little bit of time home, but after 2-3 months of it, it's like, all right. And my wife even knows now. She's like,
You gotta
gotta
go.
go.
you're ready to
You
get
gotta go
out.
to Cincinnati.
I mean, you can only travel so much. And it's like,
Yeah.
then you're just like, real life sets in. You're like, all right, well, now I'm home. And she kind of works from home and does her thing. So we're home. She's pretty busy doing her deal.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do. I'm like playing golf, or like, you can only do that so much. You're like, damn. So,
You need your purpose back.
yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have a tricky question, but I have to ask because I wonder, do you, since you kind of you have these older kids and then you have younger kids, do you ever think about the fact that those two sets have had such different experiences?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. My older girls, they were little when things were kind of taking off.
Right.
And they kind of, as they were growing up, my career was kind of going with it. And then the little ones, as they've been born, everything was already established.
Exactly.
And you have a much more manageable schedule now.
Yeah, and but like from the time they've come into the world,
You've been good.
they've been on Instagram, and like people have watched them grow up and stuff. So
Yeah.
they even come up to them out and about, oh, Memphis. They start talking to them, and they're like, who the fuck is this person?
Yeah.
So, but they've been around that too. My wife, she posts all of our lives on Instagram. I don't hardly post ever,
Yeah.
and she makes up for it. So, you know what I mean? So, but it's cool. People have watched our kids grow up over the years, and so I think their upbringing is like very different as
There's
far as
probably
that
pros
goes.
and cons to both.
For sure. But it's also, when you're in this business, it's like, I don't know. I think you feel guilty sometimes for some things, and then
Uh-huh.
it's just it's this constant thing of like, I know that the way my kids are raised is not normal.
Right.
They don't know that because they don't know any different.
Because it is
Right.
normal to them.
And as parents, you want to give them, things you didn't have and make it better
Yeah.
for
Of
them. And
course.
it's like that fine line of like, you just want them to appreciate it and know that like not everybody gets to
Yeah.
have
It's
it.
so
shit,
hard.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, very different upbringings between the two. And, I'm super proud of the way that the older ones turned out,
Yeah.
and the young ones, I feel like they handle it pretty well considering their age and stuff right now. And so, I don't know. It's just
It's
you kind
interesting.
of learn it as you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all trade-offs. How bad do you want to say to your kids, like, guys, get your fucking head out of your ass. We didn't go out to eat but once every 2 months. We
Yeah.
didn't have a fucking car with air conditioning. What are you talking about?
Like my son broke his iPad the other day, and he was just like losing his mind because it was cracked. And I was like, you're not I'm not taking it to have it fixed. You dropped it like it's your. So I made him play with it broken for a couple weeks.
Till he cut his
Finally-
finger.
Yeah, until he started bleeding, and then I took it to have it fixed.
So I've been told you don't like to talk about it, and I'm fully want to respect that. But I'm also quite curious, not about the incident itself, but mostly about going to Saturday Night Live a week later. I'm quite curious about that. But be dead honest with me if you'd rather never talk
No,
about
I don't
that
mind
again.
talking about it at all.
And I'm not an exploitative type of person.
I don't even know
know.
what anyone's talking about, to be fair.
Well,
So,
Jason
like,
was performing in Vegas during the shooting.
Yeah. So Route 91, we were on stage, and it was a festival like we've done a million times. Yeah, it just it started. It was just obviously something that we weren't prepared for.
It had to be very confusing at first.
Very
yes.
confusing.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it happened. Obviously, it was a horrible deal. We finally got out of there the next afternoon, and I think for us getting home, and you're just like glad to be home. Show up, my mom's crying.
Of
My
course.
kids
Yeah,
are
yeah,
thinking.
yeah,
My
yeah.
oldest daughter was in school, freaking out, like thinking that somebody was trying to shoot us or whatever.
Yeah.
And all the details were still kind of coming out, but
Yeah, it's one of the most horrific
yeah,
national events we've had.
Oh.
And you were
was
literally
on
center stage.
Yeah, it was wild. And so I was just kind of glad to be home. We were still in the middle of a tour, so I was like, man, I don't know if we're gonna finish the tour. Like, I mean, we
Yeah.
may just cancel the rest of the tour. We didn't really know what was gonna happen yet. And I was home for a couple days, and I got a call from my manager, Clarence Spalding, and he just goes, "Hey, Lauren Michaels just called and wants you to come play Saturday night." This is like on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Wants you to play Saturday Night Live.
The shooting was the first, and Saturday Night Live was the seventh.
It was
Or is
the
that-
shooting
are there-
was on Sunday, I believe. We got home Monday, and then I got this call like Thursday or
For
something.
Saturday.
For
Yeah,
Saturday.
for
Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. That must be a really complicated offer.
It was. I mean, obviously Saturday Night Live is something I've always wanted to play. That's like one of those things as a
Yes.
artist or actor, whatever. Like it's just a
What a
iconic
stage.
show. Yeah. And so I hated that it was like that. And so part of me was like, fuck, I don't want to do it like that.
Yeah.
And then
Because you maybe are worried it feels exploitative or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we were shell shocked too. I mean, that's the
Did
other
you
thing.
have, I'm guarantee at this point, you haven't even begun to process what the fuck you just lived
No.
through.
And so, I just kind of I just said, listen, man, Tom Petty had just died that Monday.
Oh, wow,
We got the
God.
news he had died on the flight back to Nashville. And so I just said, man, just if you'll let us play whatever I want to play and let me say whatever. They want us to do a cold open. So I was like, just I don't want you guys writing shit for me to say. And
Yeah.
so me and my publicist sat on the phone in a room in a hotel and wrote out what we were going to say, and they let me do it. And so I kind of
Wow.
called my band, rallied everybody, went there and went to do the show Saturday. And Sunday morning, I was on a flight going back to Las Vegas to go to the hospital and, see all the victims
Oh
and
my
stuff and
goodness.
going to make that. That was tough. That was pretty tough to go in and see. And, because it was, people hadn't recovered from their wounds yet,
869 people, you forget, 869 people were injured.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And so then, we had a week after that, we were right back on tour going to play, and just, I don't know, we had probably another couple months, or no, maybe not even, maybe another month of shows. And then we finally got to go home for a few months. We got off. My son was born during that time. So
Yeah.
the shooting happened on October 1st. He was born December 1st.
Wow.
So all of a sudden at home, we kind of had something else to focus on versus watching that on the news every day.
I could imagine just moving so quickly through everything and saying yes and wanting to do everything I can. And then, I don't know, some period later, waking up and going, oh my God,
Yeah.
so much shit happened, but I was so busy during it and so much was happening. And I really haven't computed that. And I'm just curious, did that day come where it was like,
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I kind of probably had a breakdown at my house one day, and it was after my son was born, and just like all that heaviness of everything just kind of getting laid on you, and everybody wanting to, at the time, it's easier to talk about now. At the time, it wasn't, because, it's like you're still trying to comprehend what had just happened.
Yeah.
My bass player, my best friend for the last 25 years, his bass had a bullet lodged in it that
Oh my
he was wearing, when we
God.
were on stage. And it's just those kind of things. And you don't realize that, man, we got, for our little family, our little crew and, road family and all of us, we got so lucky from that stuff that not one injury to any of our guys,
Yeah.
and you're happy about that. But then you're like,
You feel guilty that you're
yeah,
happy about that.
there's
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
guilt-ridden
Of course.
thing.
Survivor's guilt.
It sucks. And
Yeah.
I think,
Ugh.
it's just one of those things that will kind of forever connect us to that city. And,
Yeah.
at some point you can either kind of run from it or accept it and, try and make something good out of it. And that's kind of what we tried to do. I ended up having, a moment at my house where I kind of broke down. It's just like, and I think it was thinking about like, I don't know, just all the people that I could have lost, all the people that we did lose as far as
Yeah,
fans, but
yeah.
like my inner circle of people and like, my wife was there 8 months pregnant with my son and like, just all these things that could
And
have
you love
happened.
your fans. Like, I'm imagining if
Yeah.
Armchair's
Yes,
got
oh my
injured at a show, it
God.
would fucking devastate me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like those people are there to see you, and if
Yeah.
this happens, like there's this guilt
Yeah.
thing, and it's just like it's heavy. It's just
It's
heavy.
That's
It's a lot of
very heavy.
heavy as it
shit
gets.
to put on somebody's plate, especially when you're not expecting that. It's just
No.
like if you're an Army Ranger and you train for that kind of shit, it's
Right.
something like that happens when
Yeah.
you're armed with a guitar. There's ain't much you can do.
And I'm back to expectations. You're talking about showing up like a lot of places you go, you're like, I know I'm going to be on. I'm leaving my house. I'm going to go places.
Yeah.
I've gone there for a reason. I'm going to be nice. Expectations. Army Ranger has those expectations.
Right.
They
Yes.
jump out of the fucking helicopter with a parachute. They know shit's hitting the fan when they land.
As us, if you're on stage or somewhere and there's gunshots start popping off, you're diving. You're going just trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
get
of
somewhere.
course.
Yes.
And so it was just, I don't know, it was just heavy. It was a lot of,
How much does it enter your mind going forward?
I think it enters your mind, at least for me, occasionally, kind of situational.
You have to have PTSD from it, is what I'm
For
saying,
sure.
basically.
We played a show and there was a parking garage, where there's like open things,
yeah,
like
yeah.
in those kind of things when you
and
see
you're
that.
on alert now.
Yeah, we were in Canada just a couple days ago playing a show up there, and we're in kind of downtown in the city, walking to our hotel at night, probably midnight, and a car backfires.
Oh God.
It sounds like a shotgun went
Yeah.
off, and I mean,
Yeah, you're right
all my
back.
crews with me that we're all in that too, and so we're all like, what the fuck, and so I mean, you still have those moments,
Yeah.
but I think they'll always be there.
Have you ever gone to therapy for it, or are you too Southern?
Probably, I guess, too Southern.
No!
I never went. And here's the ironic thing: we funded
A ton of therapy for
a ton of therapy
Yeah,
for
that's
all the crews
amazing.
and everybody
Yeah.
else, and then
Of
obviously I didn't
course.
go. So my therapy was me, my
Jack
wife,
Daniels.
my band, all of us that were kind of there. We all talked about it
Yeah.
amongst each other.
Yeah, that's good. You weren't alone in it, and that's helpful.
Yeah, I had a lot of, all of us had kind of our little inner circle to talk about it with, and that was what we did. But I have a hard time talking to people about my
Yeah.
things, or
Being vulnerable.
what? I just have a hard time like opening up to people that don't know me or like haven't been in the same situation.
You're on
that
the
I've
wrong show,
been
my
in.
friend.
I listened to you and Pitt talk. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, I mean, I don't have any
Yeah.
problem talking about it. I'm just not going to voluntarily go and
Yeah,
and do
yeah.
it,
Okay, this is just a fun question. I wonder if you agree with this or not. I mostly love outlaw country. That's kind of my zone. And then I love rap.
Okay.
And I think those are the two most related musics on planet Earth, is rap and country. I like them for the same reason. You're hearing these stories, especially in the 80s and 90s. You're hearing these stories about these communities and cultures, Compton, and it's their fucking story.
Right.
It's so their story. It's not it's not meant to appeal to everyone. It's their authentic story, life story they're telling you without any frills, no apologies, no shame.
Right.
And I think country is very much that too. It's the music of disenfranchised folks who are engaged in real talk in a sense. And I just think they're very similar in that way. Do you see that parallel at all?
I can see that.
They're all storytelling.
Well, I think that with country music, it's always been that's kind of the driving force is, the song. It starts with the song.
Yeah.
And the storytelling. I think that's what everybody loves about country music is it's not a bunch of noise. It's actually, there's a point to the song that, you kind of get to. And I can see that, in hip hop and stuff too.
There's also like a brave freedom to like, You know, I get stoned and play all day long. I like to sit on the fucking porch with my blue tick hound.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of owning the shit that people are judgmental of.
Yeah. Owning things that
the snobby people are.
most people wouldn't say it.
You're not going to shame us.
Yeah.
This is our story. We're proud of it. We made music out of it, and you're not going to shame us. That's the essence that I see in both rap and
What's
country
the thing
that I
that
love.
everybody wants to say, but everybody's kind of scared to say until
Yeah.
somebody says it once, and then they're like, yeah, and then they all start saying it. You know?
Yes.
But yeah, rap's like that.
But your Compton to me is Country Boy Can't Survive.
Yeah.
I live in the woods. You see the woman, the kids, the dog, and me.
Just it's attitude. It's real. It's like unapologetic,
Yeah.
Authentic.
Like that's, and I think that's why those songs work. And you know, hip hop even. I mean, that's why that genre is as big as it is. I mean, it's kind of no bullshit. This is the
Yeah.
way it is.
The fan bases are similar too. Like music album sales dropped out.
Mhm.
The last two to drop remain the most robust are rap and country.
Yeah.
Live shows, also great audience for attending. You know, I think when people hear their story, they're really loyal to that.
Well, I think country music fans for sure are, you know, some of the most loyal from a standpoint of they latch onto an artist, you know,
Yeah.
early on in their career.
That's their family member.
And they follow that artist, you know, unless they just do something really stupid.
You can do a lot though.
Trust me, I know. I've towed the line a few times over the years, but they will follow and they will support it, you know,
Yeah.
and it, I mean, it is a lifelong thing for them, for that
Yeah.
artist and for that fan. And that doesn't happen in all genres of music.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
I would say country has the misleading illusion of being simple. And that's why people get into it and think they can do it. And that's why a lot of it's shit and generic because they think it's easy.
I
but-
think it used to be a lot more simple than it is. You know, you used to hear people say 3 chords and the truth. You know, 3 chords, you could play 1,000,000 country songs,
Right.
which there is some truth to that.
Yeah.
I think over the years, you know, it's gotten a little bit more complex and just, you know, different influences coming into our genre, you know, rock influence, pop influence,
Yeah.
hip hop,
Yeah.
blues. I mean, Stapleton's bluesy as shit.
Is he the current god
He's great.
He's the best
singer?
male vocalist in our genre to me right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think him and you know, Morgan's killing it too. Morgan's a great vocalist too.
Uh-huh.
And you know, Morgan's kind of just like a global
He
level
is.
now.
He's crossed all the
And
boundaries.
so, and that's awesome too. We get a guy like that you know, really brings in a lot of different listeners into our format because he's getting people listening to his stuff that wouldn't typically listen to country.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
so those kind of things just, I mean, it's all good for all of us.
Let me ask you, how has the transition felt? And I'll start because we have it in our site. So, of course, Hollywood's super liberal. And then when you have the handful of actors that are outspokenly conservative, it's not like the liberals are all that excited about that.
Right.
You know, like Vince Vaughn will have some opinions and people are like, oh. How has it been watching this transition where definitely country has gotten a lot more stars that are kind of outspokenly liberal and what's been a very conservative music?
I think,
History.
I mean, listen, I think everybody, you know, you feel how you want to feel. I think you do your homework and you make your own opinions or whatever of what you think that should be.
Yeah.
And that's fun. I don't think we all have to agree. When it comes to anything, it's like I don't think anybody wants things shoved down their throat. This is, you know, this is just because you believe this doesn't mean this is wrong. I think that's kind of the,
Yeah.
you know, what it should be. And unfortunately, you know, it gets a little muddy.
There's all kind. You have a million different opinions, but these are the ones that you can no longer be friends over.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's you know, when you start planting your flag in the ground on those kind of things, I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm always open for discussion. I mean,
Yeah.
enlighten me. That's my thing. Please enlighten me. Tell
Yeah.
me something I don't know. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can make it make sense, then that's cool. I mean, but you're not, you know, I'm pretty firm in how I believe, and
Yeah.
and it's going to take a lot to sort of change that.
Well, you're not unique in that you're a product. You're a product of your context. I'm a product of my context. Everyone that thinks they came to their big world view independently is kind of ignoring. We're all pretty predictable.
Yeah.
In some sense.
And I mean, I feel like I'm open-minded to, but you got to make it make sense to me
Yeah,
on those
yeah.
things. And, it's like anything. I'm not always going to agree 100% over here or over there. I can know that doesn't make sense and that does. And to me, at least.
Okay. So Try That in a Small Town became controversial, but that led immediately to it being number one on Billboard, your first number one on Billboard. Yeah. So it's like I'm interested personally. Like we have had very few, but we've had some episodes that are controversial. And then you're trying to wonder like what's your tolerance and appetite for that discomfort of controversy? And yet if it somehow works, you have to bring that into your analysis. There's sometimes direct relationship to the amount of controversy something's getting to the amount of people that are going to hear the thing.
Right.
And how do you evaluate that cost benefit?
This song being controversial was,
a shocker to you?
It was as big as it was, yes.
Yeah.
It was a song that I felt like was probably going to raise a few eyebrows and hopefully make people look in the mirror and go, yeah, that probably wasn't a good look. And when we put the video out, it's like, I'm not recreating this. This is what was happening. Like, look at it.
Yeah.
So, obviously, when that happened, it was like, everything kind of became focused on the BLM movements, and then this church that we had shot it in Spring Hill, where I live.
Yeah.
Or not a church, but a courthouse. And, kind of became all this stuff. They started digging into this courthouse and found where somebody had been hung there. And then that became a thing about it. And so it just kind of became this making something out of nothing to me.
Well, politicizing to the nth degree as much as we can. That person's on that side. This courthouse had a lynching.
The song was essentially saying, like, look at what we're doing to our country as a whole. This is not right, and this is not right. And to put a song like that out and go, hey, as a community, like where I'm from, you band together, you look after each other, you do all these things. And to take that and turn it into this like very politicizing song that, I knew it would start a little bit of a conversation that way just because I know how things are these days with social media and other things. Did I think it would go to the extent it did and turn out to be such a, just national news headline cycle for the next whatever? No, not
How
at
do
all.
you weather those events?
You're just not going to guilt me into something. Like, you're not going to do it. We put that song out when everything started to happen. We put out a press release and said, this is our stance on it. I'm going to talk about it once. Here's your press release. Anything else you got to say is just speculation between you guys. Like, I'm not going to keep going out defending myself,
fueling
defending
the whole
song,
thing.
and letting you guys regurgitate a bunch of news. It's not going to happen. So
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So if I know that I'm not wrong, you're not going to guilt me into it. I can accept it if I did, if I feel like I'm in the wrong, it's like, I can kind of see that. But if I'm not, you ain't going to get it out of me ever.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't bother you?
No.
Even when I believe in what I did, it bothers me.
Well, you want everybody to
I want everyone to like me.
Right.
And I want everyone to see my intentions. And I want everyone to see that I'm good.
I get it. Same.
Yeah.
But it's also like, if you don't like me, you don't like my music, you don't like what I stand for, you're never going to buy a ticket to a show. You're never going to come see me. I'm never going to make a fan out of you. So at that point, I don't really care. Like, you're already convinced yourself that you don't like what I'm about.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to waste any time like worrying about it. I just can't do that. Like we were talking earlier, authentic. I mean, just as an artist or whatever, I think you have to be true to that. And, I'm not going to go get on a TV show or something and just go and speak my mind and for an hour and tell everybody how I feel about the state of the world or whatever.
Yeah.
It comes out in a song like that. That's part of my art. That's what I do. And not everybody's probably going to like that all the time.
Yeah.
And
and they don't have to.
They don't have to. I don't care.
Well, look, name a comedian. Like, I love Chappelle.
Same.
Love him. Some people hate him.
And he's inappropriate as shit, but he's funny and he's a comedian, so he gets away with it as he should, to me.
And I think I have a sense of his spirit and his intention.
And I think he's fair. I think when he's, on his shows and stuff, I think he's very
Everyone
fair.
gets blasted.
Yeah, nobody's safe,
Yeah.
And I think that's fine.
Yeah. We're about the same age. Is it harder for you to do songs and make albums as the longer you've been at this? Was it easier when you were younger?
I think I'm better at it now.
Right.
I think there's certain songs and subject matter and those kind of things that, don't make sense for me to sing anymore.
Yeah.
Just probably a little younger.
Right.
Now it's like you're trying to have songs with a little more meat on the bone and things that are going to make sense for me to sing when I'm in my 50s and moving forward,
That can be hard to evaluate, though.
Yeah. Hicktown, I mean, it's came out, I was 28, it's, and,
it's
it's
an
fun.
anthem.
We still, she's country, those kind of things. It's great. But like at some point, you're going to have some songs that have a little meat on the bone. We got songs now, we're writing songs about,
retirement communities.
Yes,
and
like,
AARP.
things like, family members going through things like dementia and those kind of things, like writing these really cool, just things that are a little more thoughtful and, that direction, but still having, the things that people expect from us on a record too. So it's just kind of that weird new era for us, I think.
What are your thoughts about like retirement or when you back off, and what's that mental gymnastics for you?
Well, I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think, for me, I still enjoy it too much to not do it.
And you've pared it down enough that it's manageable.
I've kind of made it to where it works for me. It works to where,
55 versus 200 is a big difference. Yeah.
55 to 60, 65. We're kind of in that range.
Yeah.
Some years maybe 50, some years maybe 60, just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy it too much, man. We just finished an album, so I still love that side of it.
Yeah.
I look at things that are going on now, like the Sphere out in Las Vegas, like going and doing some residency.
Have you been to some shows there?
No, but Chesney just did his out there, and Sean Silva, who is our video director too, did all the content for that, and seen a ton of stuff. I think Backstreet Boys just did one. Looked
It's epic.
killer. And so, there's like some of those things where I'm like, I think that's probably in our future to hit Vegas, do some residencies, but me to just stop touring and even doing it the way we do it, man, this is what I've wanted to do from the time I can remember. And it's like, I've gotten to do it for the last 20 years and they still let me do it. It works out for me though, because I take half the year off and I work half the year. And so that half the year I'm off, it's like we're traveling. I just got back from Europe and
where'd you go?
Went to
Italy?
Went to London, went to see the band Oasis.
Oh,
okay.
you
See
did?
their
Oh my
reunion.
God,
Did they get in a fight on
amazing.
stage?
No,
or-
I was hoping they would though.
Yeah, of course. That's what
Was
you buy a
it
ticket for.
great?
It was awesome. We saw their first show in Cardiff. It was on July 4th. So first show
So
after 16
cool.
years, and it
Oh, I
was
wish I
it was
could have
killer.
seen
So
that.
Yeah, buying a ticket to Oasis is like going to a hockey game. You're going to see a fight. You're going to see a fight.
they
You
sold
couldn't
out
get
2 nights.
tickets.
75,000 people in the stadium sold it out 2 nights in a row.
Wow.
And they're doing like
17
5 or
years
6
later.
nights at Wembley that
So
holds like
incredible.
90,000.
Whoa.
They're huge over there. But it was so fun, man.
That's
And
awesome.
Okay, so on the topic of the new album, does it have a title yet? It's going to come out in August or September?
I think the single is going to come out somewhere around first part of September. And doesn't have a title yet. I literally just turned it in to the label like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you got any cool titles that you
Yeah.
can think of, just text
I'll
me.
hit you with some. I might need to hear a track or two so that's not completely disconnected
Yeah,
with the
there you go.
material. But
So-
what you kind of mentioned it, so I'm presuming the dementia's family situations in the upcoming album.
Yeah, we just some family stuff. Just got some family members that have my mom's brother, my uncle, just passed away of Lewy body dementia in the last year, and got another family member that's dealing with that kind of thing. And so we got some songs we wrote kind of that talk about that.
I don't want to get too lofty here, but you talk about these like political differences, and then you really talk about like, do you have a family member that's dealt with addiction? I'm sure you have.
Mhm.
We all have.
Yeah.
Do you have a family member dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's? Yeah, I think we all have.
Yeah.
These real things. We're all doing the same shit. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, and people, you kind of hit on that common denominator that everybody can relate to.
But no one leads with that anymore. Everyone's leading with the thing that is going to be problematic,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the beauty of making albums and stuff these days is you kind of get to, song wise. You go down whatever road you want to. And
Yeah.
as you get older, the subject matter gets a little more mature and you deal with shit that you maybe didn't deal with early on or didn't pay attention to early on in your life. And, now it's a real thing. So, but yeah, new single coming out, I think in September with, new music, new album, all that stuff to follow. And so I'm excited for people to hear it.
And then you have Jason Aldean Kitchen and Rooftop Bar. You have 4 of those?
We do. Yeah. The first one opened here, Nashville, downtown on Broadway. That thing's become a staple here in downtown Nashville. And then we opened one in Gatlinburg, one in Pittsburgh, and then just opened one in Las Vegas here last year.
You and Kristen hosted the CMTs together?
We did. I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
It's the only time I've ever hosted a show ever was with her. She was my co-host.
And how'd you like that?
It was
She's
great.
about as good of a co-host as you can have.
She was awesome. I think we had some teleprompters that went out that night.
Gotcha.
She was
Sure.
like on it. So yeah, she saved me. So thank you, Kristen.
They're promoting your institutions at the airport, just so you know. When I was waiting for my bag, I saw you were on the carousel.
I love it. Hey, take what you can get. Any press is good press. No,
Wait,
they
what's institute? What?
Like all these things he has.
Oh, they were all
Like
in
the bars.
B&A.
Yeah, the bars.
Ah,
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Well, Nashville's become such a tourist.
yeah.
Yeah, do you hate this or
Destination.
not that we're all here? You can be honest.
No, when I first moved here in '98, it was, it was still kind of dumpy. It wasn't great. It was
Small.
like you had a bunch of old bars, not really nice restaurants. It's become like a hot spot, and obviously it's great for the city. And
And do you guys have the kind of community we would fantasize about? Like, most of y'all musicians do live down here, and do you guys get to see each other?
yeah, I mean, I think we kind of run. A lot of us, I mean, we're touring and stuff. So when we come
Yeah.
home off the road, we all kind of scatter and go do our own thing.
Right.
But a lot of us like Luke, I can call him and go play golf or go fish or do whatever if we're off on the same time. He's in LA a bunch because he's doing Idol now, big TV
Oh,
star.
yeah.
Like you, big TV star. But yeah, I mean, you got your crew that you hang out with and some that you kind of see occasionally. But we're all kind of based out of here for the most part.
Yeah. Well, I just want to read your accolades before you go. 30 number ones,
Really
Monica,
awesome.
which you're in a group now with like George Strait and Merle Haggard and Chesney and Alan Jackson and Reba. I mean, it's so mega.
Pretty.
20 million
Crazy.
albums sold, 20 billion streams.
It's been a good run.
It's been a good run. 48. You're not even 50 yet.
It's been a good run.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, truly,
Thank you.
truly.
Hey, I just was,
Making
like
Georgia.
I said, I was just
Yeah.
trying to pay for that 1,500 square foot house, man. And here we are.
Well, Jason, it's been awesome meeting you, man. I really appreciate you being the first person we interviewed in Nashville. It seems like a
Yeah,
really
thanks.
lucky get for us. And you're on tour now, so people, I'm sure they're already sold out, but people should be going to the Full Throttle tour. You're also going to Australia and New Zealand.
Next year, going
Next year?
New Zealand, Australia, I think in February next year. But we actually go on the road this week to really kick off the tour. We're in
Tulsa.
Little Rock, and St. Louis, I think, is the first run. So, and then we head out west for a little bit.
Well, Jason, this has been so awesome. Everyone check out Full Throttle tour. All right, brother, be well. I hope that I bump into you now that we're
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. Hit me up anytime, man. I got a couple restaurants you go check out.
Oh, yeah. I got to stop at your many restaurants.
Stay tuned for the fact check so you can hear all the facts that were wrong.
Okay. I have an update.
You have an update.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
I was right again.
Oh, wow, great.
Yeah.
It feels so good to be right, doesn't it?
Yeah. So remember when I said you were right about my period and
Yeah.
I gave you a whole thing about
Yeah.
that? You were wrong.
Oh, okay. So it's a bad day for me and a good day for you.
And I was right the whole time.
Yeah.
The day I said is the day, which is today.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It came.
So now we still don't know why you had your clothes on backwards.
Yeah.
That's still a big question.
The
mark.
original mystery remains.
My mom liked me and write so much she made up a song, and you'd hear her singing it occasionally throughout the house, and it's such a good feeling to know that you're right.
Wow.
Yeah. There were more lyrics, but that's I guess the
That was the
chorus.
main
That's what I remember.
takeaway. Do you think you really because you grew up hearing that, you really embodied it?
I just know it feels great to be right.
Yeah, but it's like, do you know because of the song or do you know?
I heard the funniest thing once from an editor, a film editor who had cut a couple movies from an actor. And he said, yeah, his thing is if he has his way, his character's arc is that he'll find out he was right the whole time. Instead of learning a lesson.
Yeah.
His lesson will be he'll find out he was
funny.
right the entire time.
That's really funny. It does feel good to be right.
It does. It's just important not to gloat. I guess that's all you
Exactly.
can do.
And I guess it's good to tell other people when they're right, like I do,
Yeah.
even though you were wrong.
I was wrong, yeah. This was just a topic last night in a 12-step meeting, which was in the book. It said something about big shotism,
What's it say?
just like that we have to avoid big shotism.
Don't be a
and
big
blah, blah,
shot.
Yeah. And I was thinking maybe the best you can do is you just don't say anything. Like you're going to think things. I don't know that you can control whether you think something. It's just like the thought pops into your head. And really, again, the space between your thought and your actions, therein lies peace, or whatever the saying is. Freedom.
Buddhist.
Therein lies freedom. So I was thinking no, I still have some pretty grotesque thoughts.
Mhm.
I've just gotten good at not saying them. And I feel like that's all I'm capable of. And I'm proud enough of that.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I don't think we can control our thoughts, but we can control everything else.
After the thought.
So we must.
Yeah, increase our bust. We must.
We don't have to do that.
I mean,
Everyone's boobs are
trying.
great.
I'm trying to increase my bust pretty regularly. I'm doing bench press, which is for the pectorals.
Yeah, but you don't have to increase. No one has to increase their bust. No, it's not a must.
No.
It's a choice.
But it is from Greece.
Ugh, no wonder I hate it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oops,
You don't like Greece.
I forgot. I don't know if I'm allowed to say
I'm
that.
the only person in the world that does, because I don't like musicals. And even I'm like, it's fun.
Really?
Yeah. We made out under the dock.
Ew, please stop.
Is that song in particular one you hate?
I don't like any of the songs. My brother, when he was just a young baby boy,
Yeah.
he would be crying in the car because he was a baby.
Mhm.
And my mom put the Grease soundtrack on. And
To soothe him?
Yes, and it worked. And especially this one song. And so I had to listen to it on repeat
Okay.
to keep him from crying.
I got it. You've associated it with your brother's annoying behavior.
It's separate.
No,
I already hated
that's
it.
what's going on.
I already
see.
hated it. It's so funny when you think back. Like, my brother also was obsessed with the Backstreet Boys
Interesting.
as a little boy.
Oh, that's cute.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I was mean to
Does
him
he-
about it.
Of course you were. Does he want to go to the Sphere? Aren't
No.
they?
Exactly. I thought about it recently. I was like, oh, he should go to that. That's his favorite band.
Yeah, when he was 6. I still like everything I liked when I was 6 musically. Like I never
Yeah.
came to hate anything that I once loved musically.
Right.
Have you?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I just liked so much top 40 that I'm sure, it's hard to say. Now if I heard it, I'm associating it with that time. So of course I'll like it.
Yeah.
But do I like it? Probably not.
Well, this brings up an update from me. So my deepest superstition, as you already know, do you know what's my deepest superstition?
Putting hats on.
There's one worse than that. Where it really is like, I'm like, oh my God.
Can you give me a hint? Because I do want to guess.
It's musical.
Oh, you have to listen to a song. There's a
Twice.
certain song you have to listen to twice.
If I hear it accidentally, I have to.
And which
so
one
my
is it again?
stepdad used to play this song like at full volume, and it was like again, it's associated with like
Yeah.
maximum chaos.
Yes.
My brother and him fighting, and that song was always playing, and I just got it in my head that like if I heard it once, I had bad luck, and then I had to hear it again. But I was not allowed to touch his record player, and he
Oh.
had the album, so I had no control over it. The
Ah,
song is "Jump" by Van Halen.
Right.
Well, jump.
yeah.
So I was in Nashville, and because I'm in my old cars, and they don't have any way to play my phone through some of them, I was listening to the radio a ton.
Oh.
So I was driving down the road by myself, and all of a sudden, Jump came on.
Did you slam?
My first thought, well, my trick is if I hear it on the radio, I know this is a total workaround that everyone will call bullshit on, but I'll turn the channel to another channel, then turn it back, and I try to count that as a second,
Oh.
which is, we both
Okay.
know that's bullshit, but that's the best I can do.
Okay, listen. There's no rules because it's all made up
It's
in
all
your
asinine.
head.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I don't know why, but this song came on when I was in Nashville, and I go, "We're done with this."
Good job.
We're done with this.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to try to listen to it twice. And then I go, and in fact, I'm adding it to my liked songs. So now it is in my liked songs, which I listen to all the time. And it comes on once. And I'm like, it's a great fucking song. And you're going to get over it and you're going to love it.
Immersion therapy.
You're going to enjoy it. So I've been listening to it one time randomly a lot lately.
And does your nose slowly bleed when you listen only once?
No, my eyes tear black like
Okay.
Wednesdays.
And have
'Cause we're
you
so
had
similar.
any bad luck since you started this?
No, nothing
Great.
discernible. No, in fact, I feel like I'm on good luck. I'm on a good luck wave. I've discovered this documentary, the Cowboys documentary, not the cheerleading one, which is also great, but a history of Jerry Jones buying the Cowboys. Are you watching it, Rob?
I am not.
Buddy, I haven't liked a doc this much since Last Dance.
You don't what? You just asked Rob because he's a boy?
Because he loves football.
Because he
That
loves
makes sense,
football,
right?
not because
If there was
a
a doc
boy.
on The Row, I go, Monica, have you seen the doc on The Row?
But I love Last Dance. You know that.
I know you do.
Can
Have you seen it, Monica?
Can you can you admit that you could have just asked everyone?
I could have, but I would. If there was a Row documentary, I wouldn't ask Rob.
Rob does like football. That's fine.
He loves
Also, he
football.
might love to watch the doc on The Row. It's
He
probably
would.
great. It's probably going to be great. And I'm going to make it and produce it.
I had a really strong feeling you hadn't watched the Cowboys documentary. Unfortunately, I was correct.
Is it America's Team, the Gambler and his Cowboys?
The Gambler and his Cowboys.
Okay.
It's awesome. I do think you should watch it. This was all to encourage you to watch it.
Okay.
I'm not leaving you out. I just wanted to see if I could get a two-way encouragement to you to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because you do not need
But
to
you
care
know
about
I don't
football.
like peer pressure.
Okay, so you don't want me.
Okay. So just
This is
be regular.
You wanted me to ask if you've watched it and then not recommend it.
That's not what happened. I just didn't want you to specifically ask the male in the room about a doc
the football
when
lover.
you just equated it to Last Dance. So we know it's not just for, I don't like basketball.
You don't like basketball, yeah.
And The Last Dance is basically my favorite show that's ever happened.
I know it's a great one.
Anywho, okay, so
Okay.
you want me to watch it, or you
Yes.
think everyone should watch it?
It's incredible.
Okay.
What characters? Jerry Jones is such a character. Can I just
Yeah.
give you a taste of what happens? So he is a very young guy, and he is, I guess, a wildcat, they call him. Maybe that's not the right term, but
Okay.
he is buying oil fields, hoping to strike oil.
Okay.
He is so over leveraged. He's like $50 million in debt as a young man,
Ooh.
and he just keeps gambling. And when he describes the oil well he hits,
Oh,
the
he does
noises
it.
it was making, and when it just started gushing, and then that one oil well made him $100 million.
Wow.
And then he immediately took that money and bought the Cowboys.
Wow.
And the Cowboys are the most valuable sports team in the world.
Yes, I knew that.
Every
from
sport included.
cheerleaders. Yeah.
Like a $13 billion value of that
It's
team.
wild.
Yeah, and then he grabs this coach out of college, Jimmy Johnson, and it's just a great
Do you
story.
think it's because he has two J's?
It makes it really great that the alliteration's there.
But like he has two J's, so he's like the only people I can hire. It's like a small pool because it has to have two J's.
They were on a championship college football team together,
Okay.
and they knew each other forever. And did you ever watch The U?
Yeah, the 30 for 30.
You did?
Yes, I
So
did.
he was the coach that was like, yeah, you
Rob,
guys.
did you?
I did not know.
Well. Look at that.
If you remember, Jimmy Johnson was the one that was like, yeah, be black. Don't listen to this bullshit that
Oh,
you're
right.
a thug.
Right.
He's cool.
Yeah, he is cool.
Yeah. And those two, the owner and him, it's
They got
tough.
in some
Tough to
fights.
share glory.
It's tough to share glory.
It's tough to share glory. I'm not done with it, and I don't ever want it to end.
That's fun. I
really
love
recommend
when
it.
there's a show like that.
Yeah.
That was too much for me. The show Too Much on Netflix.
Oh,
Um,
I did start it per your recommendation, and I love it.
right?
It's great.
It's so
It
good.
does give me anxiety
Okay, tell me.
because she's so fragile. Like anything could, she could unravel over almost anything. And so it does trigger my like, oh my God, if I was around someone who was always like, I don't know if they're going to unravel at this moment is very stressful to me.
I don't know how far you're in. But it's interesting the way they
I love him. He's so hot. He's so hot.
So hot. I listened to this one thing on it that I thought broke it down really, really well, where they were like, this show does such a good job of highlighting the highest or like the most manic parts of a relationship, the beginning and the end, because she has this other relationship she has come out of, and it's very tumultuous.
She's making some really wild.
Isn't she so funny?
Oh, she's incredible.
Oh my God,
she's incredible.
Anyway,
and Lena's great when she's on. Yeah,
it's a really good show. But,
really great cast. Really great station.
Well, that's when I was rewatching Girls, and I was seeing all these people that they cast before. I was like, God, yeah, some people just really have that knack.
They have that eye.
Like Mike White.
Yeah, Mike White.
Mike White had Will Sharp and Megan Fahey on the same season of White Lotus, which means he's a genius.
He is a genius.
Anyway, Cowboys, you love them. I'm going to watch.
It's so good. It's so good.
Now, I am coming off of some good luck as well.
You are, okay.
Because it's birthday luck still.
Yeah.
I still have birthday luck. And people who listen will remember that at the Bowery, I got a tassel, 1111, the room. This is incredible.
Yep.
Wow, big story, tassel. For my birthday, we went to the Four Seasons and went to the pool. I had to get a room for that.
Yeah.
So guess what my room number was? You already know, 1111.
1212.
1111 again.
Oh my gosh. This should be your first tattoo.
I actually thought that.
I bet you did.
I already thought it, which is why I can't get it, because I guess it's a cliche.
Do a lot of people have 1111?
No, but it's like if you thought and I thought, we all thought it.
Or it's just so on brand for you. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not going to get any tattoos.
Okay.
But if I was, I think it might be that.
You could get XIXI. It wouldn't be so obvious.
I know, but I'm not really into Roman numerals.
That's pretty basic stuff.
It's not even, world. It's just like.
It's basic.
It's not for me.
It is basic.
Oh my God.
Wait, is this real?
I think so.
Okay, so for the listener, Rob just put up a
Monica's
photo of Jennifer Aniston, Jen Aniston, and seemingly she has 1111 tattooed on her wrist.
Oh, or maybe. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah. Now you can't, because if we ever interview her and you have the same tattoo as her.
But now I have to.
Oh, that tipped it.
It was always meant to be.
Yeah.
My God. Should I get one? Like, because since I don't really want anyone to see, do you think I could just get a really tiny one in between my big toe and my second toe?
Toes are rough. The skin rubs off a lot. Fingers, digits, they can be tough. Like my bell's not holding up like the rest of my tattoos.
Well, have you ever gotten one in here? That's
it's
what
hard.
I mean.
Yeah, I guess that skin's, it's hard for the tattoo to stay there for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Do you want to hear my maximum sim event of my entire life? Other than when I guessed the song you had made up, Xanthan Gum?
Yeah.
That still is like, that can't have happened.
I know.
Xanthan Gum. Xanthan Gum. Okay, so I wrote this script called Send Lawyers, Guns, and Money.
Right.
And it was about my last week of drinking in Kauai.
Uh-huh.
And while I was writing it, I'm just like swimming in the Warren Zevon song, Send Lawyers, Guns, and Money. Do you know that song?
No.
Okay, I'll cover my face and sing it to you. I took home the barmaid, ding, 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 like I always do. How was I to know she was with the Russian twos? Hey! And it's Send Lawyers, Guns, and Money. The shit has hit the fan. So as I'm writing this script, and it's about my last week in Hawaii of using, I decide I should learn to play that guitar. I should learn to play that song on the guitar.
Uh-huh.
So I go on YouTube and I'm trying to find some footage of him playing that so I can look at the chords.
Uh-huh.
And I find this video of him in a small venue and he's talking to the crowd and he says, I wrote this song after, I got to add. My last week of drinking in Hawaii was I was taking a vacation between movies because I was exhausted and I needed a break.
Okay.
It didn't turn out to be a replenishing trip, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
So he goes, I wrote this song after a couple years of hard work, and I decided to take a trip down to the islands of Hawaii. And after a week of improbable danger and something, I decided I shouldn't take vacations. I took home the barmaid, and I was sitting at my computer going, what the fuck? This song is about his week in Hawaii?
That's wild.
I thought it was going to evaporate into the clouds at that point.
My dad was helping your sim even before we met.
Well, it's all been orchestrated.
I know.
From 1987. We don't even know if I existed before 1987.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because even for you, that was the best year of your life.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
it's all really
Stinks.
It's stinky.
It's fucking stanky.
Really stinky in here. Anyway, so birthday luck is continuing.
Yeah.
Birthday weekend was really nice. Ended up at I wanted to check something. Maybe another sim moment.
Okay.
Can I look up when War Dogs was? I already did. 2016. Dang.
Oops.
1 year off. Okay, because in 2016, it was my birthday.
Mhm.
And Kristen planned,
You're turning 29?
I guess.
No.
Yeah, I was turning 29. And Kristen planned an escape room party for me and her and you and a group of people. It was really exciting. We get there, we go inside, we're ready to escape. And she had accidentally booked it for the wrong day,
Mm-hmm.
which was fine. But it was like, what are we going to do now?
Textbook Belle.
It is.
This is kind of her move.
It happens.
Yeah.
So, it was like, what are we going to do now? And we pivoted plans. It was your idea.
Uh-huh.
You said, let's go to the chateau
And have
and
some
have dinner, have bolognese. I had never been there, and I'd been trying to go for a long time.
Sure.
And it was really exciting and fun. And then we saw War Dogs. That was like a big birthday, I remember, and it was a good pivot, and the bolognese was so good, and it was very exciting. And on my birthday, it was a lazy day. I stayed at the Four Seasons, so then I woke up and I was just lazy.
Yeah.
Callie told me I should order a milkshake in my robe.
Oh, wow.
Room service. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
But
That's
I
a rough way to start your day.
That's
with a
why I
milkshake.
was like, it's
Yeah.
too early.
Be downhill from
But
there.
it also sounded nice. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then I went to Sunset Tower. Oh, I went shopping. I got
Uh-huh.
myself a cute outfit, and I went to Sunset Tower. And then Sunset Tower turned into the chateau where I had bolognese for dinner.
You did.
I did. And I thought,
Did
oh
you
my
see anyone?
gosh. No, I don't think so. I don't really
You don't
look.
see very well.
Yeah, I don't have
Yeah.
good eyes.
Yeah.
And I thought it was its 10-year anniversary, but I guess it was its 9-year anniversary.
Right.
So that is not as sim as I wanted it to be.
Okay. It's still great.
Still great. Great
Yeah,
day.
yeah. That's a fun tradition.
It is a fun tradition.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be a new tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
You
was
want to
really
ask
fun.
Monica out.
Oh yeah. Speaking of this,
Okay.
I probably shouldn't do it like this with this long face.
Yeah, it sounds like bad news is coming.
It's not bad news. It's great news. It's great news for the world. Travis and Taylor are engaged.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And everyone is happy, and I'm so happy. She seems so happy. It makes me feel really fuzzy. Like
Oh,
she
good.
got it all, and she deserves it, and I love it. And it's hopeful.
Yeah. Great.
Lincoln said that they announced it. They either announced it or the teacher came into the classroom and told everyone.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
I
It's
was like,
all girls school.
all girls school. This is incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I forgot that the whole reason they're together is their podcast, New Heights. He went to the concert to try to give her
some
his
bracelets.
phone number. Yes. But he didn't. He couldn't see her. So then on the show, his brother asked, how was the concert? He said, well, I'm kind of butthurt because I really wanted to talk to her, but she doesn't talk to people before or after shows. And I wanted to give her my bracelet. It has my phone number on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cute. Oh, did he put his phone number in the bracelet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
And look, that got him a wife.
Yeah.
And here we are.
One of the more coveted wives out
of all
there.
time.
Yeah.
Yes. And here we are almost 8 years in to this show. And I have 0 husbands.
Yeah, but
Okay. So I don't
what she
mean to
did is
complain.
she heard that.
Yeah.
And then she reached out and he
Exactly.
said yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the comments that are saying you're hot and they want to meet
but-
you. But see, you
Go ahead.
have said many times you don't want to date a listener.
Unless they're Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Okay. Also, she wasn't a listener, just got back to her.
Okay.
Okay, so who, I could on here, you know what's unfair? I would look crazy and he didn't look crazy. And that's,
Well, he had a lot going for
Sexism.
him. No,
well, I have
it's
a
not.
lot going for me. What do you mean?
No, it's inherently adorable that this enormous football player,
Mm-hmm.
this gruff bone crusher, made a Taylor Swift bracelet.
Yeah.
So you have to do something as completely out of the box as that. That's what made that so adorable. It's like, oh wow, that guy made a bracelet with his number for Taylor
it
Swift.
was really cute.
There's a lot to the product, It's
so what am I
not.
supposed to do? Like go beat someone up
Well,
and
we
then
gotta
have
we gotta.
scars on and like talk about that?
Yeah, get good with a butterfly knife and pull a butterfly knife. Like you gotta put the same effort
It's a
he put
lot of
into
work.
it.
It takes like 4 minutes to make a friendship bracelet.
You have to start by pursuing someone, which he did. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna have to pursue like he did, and then he got the woman of his dreams.
Okay, yes, that is all true. This is all correct. And I'm kidding. And I do think maybe I'm wrong, but I
It's
want to
such a
be
good
honest.
Feeling to know that you're right.
I want to be honest. I think if a girl did that exact thing he did.
Yeah.
Went to Chris Martin's show.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to give him a thing, didn't get to, went on her podcast and was like, ugh, I didn't get to give him my phone number. I'm sad about that. I don't think people would think it was as cute as what happened.
Again, you're trying to frame it as female male.
I'm just asking. I'm not
Oh.
trying to say it's sexist, but I'm really trying, I'm being
Well,
honest.
you said
in
if
that,
a girl did that.
yeah.
Yeah, so you are framing it as
I
if there's a
am.
double standard between men and
But
women.
I'm not trying to make it, I'm just being honest about the fact that I think I even would be like, that's not cute.
If he had gone to a Shania Twain concert hoping to bump into her and give her a number, that's not what it was. You're really ignoring the fact that it was a huge NFL player that was a Swiftie. That was that's such a unique thing. That's what's happening there. It's not that he's male or female. It's that here's the last guy you'd expect to be a Swiftie is a Swiftie.
Well, then, okay, so then that's, so if
That'd
you're
be like you going
reversing
and find
it-
some grungy punk rock dude and you come and bring him flowers or something, that's
That's just not
that's
my
the-
type.
right. But that's why that's not a story. But it's not because you're a woman. It's because it's not this crazy first time you've ever heard this.
Yeah, was he a Swiftie or was he just wanting to date her?
I think he's a Swiftie.
Well,
He
now
knows to make the bracelet.
now he's a Swiftie.
I bet he's a lot of Andrew Schultz is a huge Swiftie.
I know. So then if a lot of people are Swifties, then why would it be?
Mostly women are Swifties. I've been to a show. It's
Yeah, me too.
90+% female.
Yeah, I guess.
That might
I
be
don't
an
know.
exaggeration.
We're doing like,
it's very female.
okay, well, whatever. I guess this is getting twisted.
So if
into
you
a
were
knot.
like, if there was like some punk band that only dudes liked, Megadeth.
Ew.
See this?
I don't even know what that is, but I'm never going to date a death guy. Pro death, not even pro.
We're trying to
Mega?
make this apples to apples. So you would have to have entered into the most masculine scene, and people would go like, "Oh my god, this cute little girl
Okay.
likes these
Oh my God, Dax, that guy
headbangers."
kind of looks like you on the right.
Oh boy, that's not flattering.
No, different hair. What do you mean? He's not unattractive.
That's a story. That's my point. Is you showing up at that show, you showing up at a Slayer show and you're in love with the drummer is hilarious.
This is them now, so they're maybe a little older for
You got to find the equivalent of Megadeth or Metallica of this era. And people go like, oh, that super cute liberal little podcast host loved that crazy maniac rocker. That's a story.
But I'm going to push back on that. Like, it's not crazy for any man to like Taylor Swift. She's a very cute, blonde, pretty girl with a talent.
I think it's crazy, and the reaction would substantiate that one of the most gruesome NFL players was a Swiftie. That's why it was so contagious.
A Swiftie versus wanted to go on a date with her.
Yeah, I'm saying Swiftie.
Yeah.
When I heard it, was like, this guy knows about the bracelets. He made her a bracelet. He's a Swiftie.
Okay, you're saying it so like 100% and we don't. Because he went there. He said he went there.
Because he was a Swiftie. He's in love with her and he wanted to give her a number. And
he wanted, he wanted to give her.
You're saying he just wanted to fuck her.
No,
okay.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying he liked her. Like he was like, I want to date that girl. That girl seems awesome. She's pretty. She's talented. She's cool.
Yeah.
I want to date her. Like I think a lot of men think about Taylor. I will say, and I don't know about the Megadeth community, but my guess is
great backstory. Dave Mustaine was in Metallica and left. He got kicked out of the band and then started that band, which became their big rival.
Oh.
Right, Rob? Is that the story?
Yeah. He's in the doc talking about how it haunted him, even though he sold 15 million records still.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, still thought about getting kicked
Rebellious.
out of Metallica.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure a lot of women want to date and marry them.
Mm-hmm.
Marrying Megadeth, I'm going to just say as a whole, is a real choice. Like,
yeah, you don't want to. And I
don't know. I've never met them, so maybe I'd love them.
They're also way older.
Okay, I don't care.
Again, I'm saying the equivalent of Megadeth.
I know, but I'm just saying, I think that's like a real choice. And I think dating Taylor is like dating Bradley or like Timmy or like someone huge in the popular zeitgeist, not niche.
Okay. They're enormous. They sold 50 million.
Okay, great.
So they're
I'm
not
proud of them.
Metallica's not niche at all. Metallica's
No, I know.
Yeah.
But it's still niche to date.
What I think, we have a different opinion. I think what was charming about the entire Travis Taylor story is that this big NFL player was a sweetie at heart because he was a Swiftie.
Yeah, he's a sweet
and
boy.
I think an equally big story would be that this sweetie, liberal little girl is into this crazy off the chain band. That's the story that I'm saying. Other people would also find that charming. And the members would be the women that came to shows. I've been to these shows. The ones that came that were attracted to Megadeth, they looked like they were in Megadeth.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't. If you showed up in the row with flowers, that's a story.
Yeah, but I just
And
no one
would think you're crazy. They'd be so
much.
charmed by how unexpected this obsession is of yours.
Right. I guess you're right. There's an element of unexpected. The problem is I'm not unexpected.
Yes, you are in
I
areas
am?
that you don't have any interest in.
What do you mean?
You don't like Metallica.
That's what I'm saying. That's expected. I'm saying the problem is I'm not unexpected. The things I like are expected.
Right. Yes.
So this is the problem, is my point.
Yeah. You'd have
So
to.
I'm not going to be able to
Because you're
go to Megadeth.
you're gonna give flowers to the same guy every girl likes already.
Should I say it, that it's Josh O'Connor?
Yeah, say it. I don't
But
know why we're
he
holding
is
back.
dating someone.
He's not always going to be dating someone.
Maybe he is, and I wish them well if that's true. Josh O'Connor is extremely attractive, and I find him very cute and endearing and fashion.
Yeah.
And he is exactly expected for who I would like.
That's right.
So it's not going to come as a shock. But I guess I'm calling it in, but I'm not, because that's actually rude because he's dating someone.
Like if you tried to date Ben Shapiro,
Dax.
I'm saying if
That's
you tried to date Ben Shapiro,
You're putting me in a tough sit.
he
right now.
would absolutely notice that happen. He'd be like, "You're kidding me. She wrote me a letter and likes me." If another right wing, it wouldn't break through the clutter.
Yeah, that's fine. I can't go against my values. I don't think Travis went against his values. And I don't think even it wouldn't be going against my values for Megadeth either, because I don't know. Well, unless, again, I'm not really pro-death, so maybe it is against my values. But
You think about it a lot, and so do they. So that's a good match made in heaven. They're just more mega of what you already are.
That wouldn't be a good match. I need someone to
You need
temper
someone.
the death talk, you know?
That's true. That's true. Should we do some facts?
Sure.
You should date the singer of Ghost. That's some equivalent.
Or if Monica hit on one of the.
Oh!
I was going to say Guar.
Guar
Like if
was on
Monica
there.
tried to date one of the Guar guys.
I think they're older.
Guar?
Show a picture of Guar.
Yeah, Guar.
I know they're too old, but that guy doesn't look
This
terribly
is
young either.
creeps, Rob. What
Wait
is-
till you see Guar.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get a good one.
Truly, you'd stop the whole show. If you got up on stage during Guar and presented one of them with like an axe, like a custom engraved axe.
Oh my God. I'm going to have nightmares about that.
People, that would make national news.
Oh my God. I take that down. That is truly scary.
They like shoot blood out of
Ew,
their
what's
guitars.
on his penis? Oh.
Oh yeah, they have like. Here, wait, I got one
He
more.
has spikes on
Show
his
the whole
penis.
band.
Wait.
That one's a little
This-
intense. Oh,
This guy, his penis is out.
oh, he's got
Ew,
several
his
penises.
penis is out.
He's got several.
I mean, it's not not his real
Is it
penis.
real?
No,
It's
they're
prosthetic.
prosthetics,
They
but-
shoot like blood.
Yeah, and he's got two of them.
You guys,
Oh, there's the whole gang.
this is so unfair. I have to date Guar.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to date Guar. I'm saying if you want it to be the same story,
But it's so unfair.
it's got to be that crazy where people go like, I can't believe Monica likes Guar.
I don't think it's going to work out with me and Guar.
Oh, let's put it another way. Now he's turned a corner, but there was a period where Marilyn Manson could have been the thing. Because he, right after Bowling Columbine, and all we really knew was like, wow, this guy's way fucking smarter and more thoughtful than we knew.
Mm-hmm.
And you were super into it. And you came this little good girl from a podcast, and you approached him.
I'm not a good girl.
It would catch his attention.
I am not interested
I know.
in people who like to scare other people. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not gonna happen.
Anyway, Guar, call me. I guess.
Hit me on Instagram, Guar.
Okay, so he has nasal polyps, unfortunately.
Jason?
Yeah.
Whew, that sounds rough.
Nasal polyps are soft, painless,
Oh.
non-cancerous growth that develop in the lining of the nose or sinuses. They are often associated with chronic inflammation and can cause nasal congestion, a runny nose, and impaired sense of smell.
Do you think I have nasal polyps? I thought I had allergies, but maybe I have some. I doubt I have polyps because I get the screen all the time, the butt exam, colonoscopy, and they've never found a polyp. So I don't think I'm polyp prone.
Are they looking in your nose?
No, but I'm thinking if you're a polypy person, you're a polypy person. No.
I don't want to make that connection.
Everyone get a colonoscopy.
You
though,
can
those are
smell,
all my
though.
symptoms.
No, you can smell things.
I don't know. Remember I smelled your shirt the other day and I
Yeah.
couldn't smell anything.
No, you walked in and you were like, something smells funny that
Oh,
no
you're
one
right.
else smelled. And then I assumed it was my vintage
Maybe I was
shirt.
smelling my polyps. Maybe they smell musty.
Well, that's possible. While anyone can get them, they're more common in adults, particularly those with conditions like asthma or allergies. Treatment options range from medications to surgery, depending on the size and severity of the polyps. So he needs surgery, but he doesn't want to get it.
Scary.
Very scary.
And when that's your career.
I know.
Getting in there and messing around, monkeying around.
Although, you know what's funny? Speaking of surgeries and people getting plastic surgery,
Yeah.
you know, it is like people are really willy-nilly with their face, and their face is what got them there in the first place.
It's the moneymaker.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tricky.
I think facelifts have evolved. I think they too have like gone through the same radical progress all medicine has. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're different than in the 70s when Burt
Yeah.
Reynolds was getting them, you know.
Yeah. More people are getting them. That's for
I think
sure.
that they're different now too. I think there's like different versions that you can get
Yeah,
that aren't
maybe.
just like, you know, the Burt Reynolds kind.
I don't know. I think it's still an
Still Burt
intense
Reynolds.
surgery, I think. But yeah, like you got to be careful.
Yeah. I keep hearing they're very common. Are you hearing
A
this
lot
too?
of people apparently
Yes, apparently.
have them.
Yeah. Have you
and
had
then-
one?
No,
Okay.
no. But then
I would love one, but when could I do it? When would I be able to recover? We're on
Yeah,
camera every
there's
day of the year.
downtime.
Yeah.
I don't think you should get it. Like
I know. I'm not good looking enough. Like, that's not my brand. You know, if I was like a pretty boy or gorgeous, I'd have to.
Right.
That's my thing.
Well,
And
no.
I'm just kind of like, someone wrote in a comment, because I talked to camera to explain why the episode wasn't up.
Mhm.
And a guy wrote, your face looks like a scrotum.
Okay, but Dax, that's also
Do you-
because
is that accurate?
no, it's not. But I did watch the video and I was like, why is he holding it like that? Like
You thought it looked like a scrotum
I did
too.
not think that, but I did think he is putting zero effort
Oh,
into
yeah.
like making himself look how he actually looks. Like it was like held at kind of a weird angle.
Yeah, you know why.
And then you're like rubbing your eyes.
yeah, you know why?
Why? You're on the
like,
toilet?
I was on the couch and I'm like, I gotta address this. It's so frustrating that people think we just didn't put an episode out.
Right.
And then I'm in my house and my kids are running around and like I'm not trying to show too much of my internal personal space.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like trying to find an angle where no kids are running by.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it was a function over fashion
I understand.
decision.
I understand.
But the problem's been fixed and it's down now. Anyway.
The episode. Oh, you took the post
Yeah, because it
down?
no longer was relevant.
Oh wow. Well, then no one can see what we're talking about.
You were a little disappointed with the angle.
Well, I was like,
He's really gotten reckless.
I wish he could have talked to me about this before he did it, and then also like we could have held the camera a little different or something. Anyway,
because people find everything. Like what's funny is I kept seeing in the comments like, yeah, shut the door, the AC's on. And then I immediately get defensive and I'm like, the door was open. They think that we had the door open, the AC was on. No, they're talking about a little piece of paper that says on the door, shut the door, the AC's on, that they're reading backwards. That's not lit.
Oh wow.
I had to dig in this video to see what the hell they were talking about.
Oh wow.
And that's what it was. That's why like I had to hold it where just, you know, you
But
can't
you should have
see
just
anything.
come in here and done it. This space is already exposed.
Oh,
Like
okay. That
so,
feels very
just like
formal.
check. You know, just
Okay,
like maybe
just
check
run
in
it.
with me. I have a lot of.
You have a lot of thoughts about
I
it.
have a lot of experience in PR. Okay, Broken Bow Records. We said he joined in 2003.
2003,
2005,
2005.
according to the internet.
Okay.
Did Waylon Jennings have a history of cheating? Yes, he had a reputation for infidelity during his marriage to Jessie Coulter. While they were a couple known for their strong partnership and love, both in life and music, Jennings also struggled with substance abuse and infidelity, which was openly discussed in Jessie Coulter's autobiography.
Ooh, I should read that.
Yeah, you should. Okay, the Vegas shooting.
Whoop.
I was really grateful that he talked about it.
Me too.
Because that's a really vulnerable, hard thing to talk about.
Yeah.
And I was happy that he did, impressed that he did.
Yeah.
It was in 2017. It was really bad. Deadliest mass shooting by a lone gunman in American history.
Oof. Horrendous.
Horrendous. And I can't imagine being
At the show. Yeah.
the person that has all these people here.
You know,
Like,
if that happened at our live event,
Oh my
the guilt I'd have
God.
over.
Oh my God. But then we talked about him doing SNL, and then he was saying that he wrote his own. Like he was like, I'm not having anyone write anything for me for that. So he wrote with his people, I guess. And he said this. I'm Jason Aldean. This week we witnessed one of the worst tragedies in American history. Like everyone, I'm struggling to understand what happened that night, how to pick up the pieces and start to heal. So many people are hurting. There are children, parents, brothers, sisters, friends, and they are all part of our family. So I want to say to them, we hurt for you and we hurt with you. You can be sure that we're going to walk through these tough times together every step of the way, because when America is at its best, our bond and our spirit are unbreakable. And then he played Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down because he had just passed away.
Yeah.
A lot happened.
Yeah.
So, and it was Gal Gadot.
Was the host.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's it.
That's it? All right. Love you.
Love you.